Most people are exhausted, and not just physically. They're tired of constantly pushing, forcing, proving, and chasing. Tired of the endless pressure to stay connected, stay productive, stay ahead. There's a quiet desperation beneath the surface of modern life. A sense that no matter how much we do, it never feels like enough. And yet buried beneath that noise is a very different path, one that doesn't demand more from you, but less. One that invites you not to strive harder, but to let go. This is the path of effortless living. Effortless living doesn't mean being lazy or giving up. It's about moving through life with clarity, with intention, and with peace. It's about learning to distinguish between what truly matters and what merely distracts. It's about aligning with the natural rhythm of things instead of constantly swimming upstream. The wisdom of minimalism, Stoicism, and Taoism all converge on this simple but powerful truth. You don't have to control everything. In fact, trying to do so is often what keeps you stuck. Minimalism teaches us the value of subtraction, of removing the unnecessary so we can focus on what is essential. It's not just about decluttering your space, it's about decluttering your mind, your habits, your commitments. When we simplify, we create space, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And in that space, we begin to see clearly. We begin to breathe. Stoicism adds another layer. It reminds us that we don't control external events, only our responses to them. The Stoics didn't chase comfort, they cultivated resilience. They practiced detachment not to avoid emotion, but to remain grounded in the face of chaos. When you stop trying to force life to meet your expectations and instead meet life with calm acceptance, something shifts. You suffer less, you see more, and you respond with strength instead of reactivity. Taoism, perhaps more than any other philosophy, embodies the essence of effortlessness. It teaches the principle of wu wei, non-forcing or non-doing, not inaction but flowing with the natural order of things. A tree doesn't strive to grow, it simply grows. Water doesn't force its path, it finds the path of least resistance. Taoism urges us to live like that, fluid, responsive, in tune with what is rather than what should be. It's not about apathy, it's about trust. Trusting that life, when not resisted, tends to move us exactly where we need to go. These ideas are more than ancient wisdom. They are deeply practical antidotes to modern overwhelm. The more we simplify, surrender, and slow down, the more we begin to live fully. Effortless living isn't passive. It's a conscious choice to stop chasing and start aligning, to stop grasping and start allowing. It's a philosophy of presence, of peace, and ultimately of power. Not the power that dominates, but the power that flows. And once you learn to live this way, you'll wonder why you ever lived any other. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Albert Camus. Picture this. It's late evening and the soft glow of your phone screen illuminates your face in the dim room. As you scroll through your social media feed, you're bombarded with images and stories of acquaintances, friends, and even strangers having the time of their lives. Parties, vacations, gatherings, each post a colorful testament to the fun they're having without you. With each swipe, a subtle weight settles in your chest, a nagging feeling that somehow, amidst your ordinary day, life is happening elsewhere and you're missing out on it. This phenomenon has a name, one that's become all too familiar in our digital age: FOMO, or the fear of missing out. It's the anxiety that stirs within us when we see someone else experiencing something we're not, fueled by the endless showcase of life's highlight reels on social media platforms. This fear isn't just about social events. It extends to experiences, achievements, and lifestyles. It's the dread of falling behind, of not living to the fullest, of missing opportunities that everyone else seems to be seizing. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if, in our relentless pursuit of being everywhere, doing everything, we're missing out on something far more valuable? This is where we flip the script on FOMO, turning our gaze inward to the hidden treasure of JOMO, or the joy of missing out. It's not about isolating oneself or shunning society. It's about embracing solitude and finding contentment and joy in being alone with oneself. It's about recognizing that missing out intentionally can be a path to personal growth, deeper self-awareness, and ultimately a more fulfilling life. This concept takes us back to the essence of what it means to be truly alive. It's about quality, not quantity, of experiences, relationships, and moments. It's about slowing down, disconnecting from the incessant buzz of the digital world, and reconnecting with our inner selves. In solitude, we find space to breathe, to think, to feel deeply. We discover parts of ourselves that remain hidden in the noise of constant social engagement. Solitude allows for reflection, creativity, and a deeper appreciation for the moments and people that truly matter. In today's society, where the pressure to be socially active and constantly connected is immense, choosing solitude and the joy of missing out is a radical act. It's a declaration that we are enough, that our worth isn't measured by how full our social calendars are, or how many experiences we can cram into our lives. Instead, it's measured by the depth of our experiences, the quality of our connections, and our ability to find peace and happiness within ourselves. This transition towards embracing this idea isn't just a personal journey, it's a cultural shift. It's about changing the narrative from one of scarcity, of constantly needing more to be happy, to one of abundance, where we recognize the wealth of joy available in each moment we choose to be present for. It's a shift from seeking happiness in external validation to finding it in internal fulfillment. We'll explore the philosophical underpinnings of solitude, the benefits of embracing alone time, and practical ways to incorporate it into our lives. We'll look at how detaching from the digital world through regular digital detoxes can enhance our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. We'll discover how, by reclaiming our time and attention, we can lead richer, more intentional lives. The journey from FOMO to JOMO is not about renouncing the world, but about engaging with it more meaningfully. It's about choosing experiences that resonate with our deepest selves, rather than chasing every opportunity that comes our way. It's about finding joy in the path less traveled, the quiet moments and the space between. To understand the phenomenon of FOMO, or the fear of missing out, we must delve into its psychological underpinnings. FOMO is rooted in several core psychological triggers: social anxiety, comparison, and a pervasive sense of lacking or insufficiency. These elements, combined with the unique pressures of modern life, create a fertile ground for FOMO to flourish. Social anxiety in this context is not merely about the fear of social interactions, but extends to a broader worry about one's place within their social circle and the world at large. It's the fear that by not participating in certain activities or events, one might lose connection with their peers or fall out of sync with what is perceived as the social norm. This form of anxiety feeds into the fear that one's social bonds may weaken, or that they'll be perceived as less interesting or engaging by their peers. The comparison is another critical factor. Humans by nature have a tendency to measure their lives against those of others. This instinct, while not inherently negative, can lead to feelings of inadequacy, when fueled by the endless barrage of curated success and happiness seen on social media. The digital age has transformed comparison from a sporadic and mostly manageable experience into a constant, overwhelming presence. Every scroll through social media feeds presents a new opportunity to measure one's life against others, often leading to the mistaken belief that everyone else is leading a more exciting, fulfilling life. A sense of lacking or insufficiency emerges as the inevitable consequence of social anxiety and constant comparison. It's the feeling that one's life is somehow incomplete or deficient compared to others. This sense of lacking drives the pursuit of more experiences, more social connections, more achievements. Yet this pursuit often leads not to fulfillment but to a deeper feeling of emptiness, as the root cause is not a genuine desire for these experiences, but a fear of being left out or behind. Modern technology, particularly social media, plays a significant role in amplifying these feelings of missing out. The platforms are designed to keep users engaged, feeding them a constant stream of content that highlights the most exciting aspects of people's lives. Rarely do people share the mundane, the difficult, or the unglamorous aspects of their lives on these platforms. Instead, social media is a highlight reel, showing only the peaks without the valleys. This skewed representation can warp our perception of normal life, making our own experiences seem dull by comparison. The design of social media platforms, with their algorithms that prioritize engaging or sensational content, exacerbates the issue. These platforms are not passive, they actively shape what we see, often pushing content that they predict will elicit strong emotional responses. This can create a feedback loop where the more we engage with content that triggers FOMO, the more such content is presented to us, further deepening the cycle. Moreover, the instantaneity and ubiquity of digital connections mean that we're never truly off. There's always a new post, a new story, a new update. The digital world is relentless, offering no respite for reflection or contentment with one's own life. Instead, it fosters a pervasive sense of urgency, a need to constantly check and update to avoid falling behind. In this digital landscape, this fear thrives. It feeds on the comparison, the sense of lacking, and the social anxiety that modern technology amplifies. But recognizing these roots is the first step toward overcoming this terrible fear. By understanding the psychological mechanisms at play, we can begin to untangle ourselves from the web of constant comparison and anxiety over missing out. We can start to see social media for what it often is, a distorted mirror that reflects not the fullness of life, but a carefully curated illusion. The journey away from FOMO involves a conscious effort to disconnect from these triggers, to reassess our relationship with social media, and to find value in our own unfiltered lives. It requires us to embrace the moments of solitude, the quiet, the mundane, as not only necessary but enriching. The philosophical exploration of solitude has a rich and varied history, with thinkers from various epochs and cultures highlighting its value for personal growth, self-awareness, and deeper connection with the world. To understand the depth and breadth of its significance, we turn to the perspectives of some of the most influential philosophers, including Henry David Thoreau and the Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, who have articulated the profound benefits of embracing this concept. Henry David Thoreau, a 19th-century American philosopher, naturalist, and author, is perhaps best known for his experiment in simple living documented in his masterpiece, Walden. Thoreau embarked on a 2-year, 2-month, and 2-day sojourn in a cabin he built near Walden Pond, amidst the woods of Massachusetts. This period of living deliberately away from society allowed him to reflect deeply on human life, society, and our relationship with nature. Thoreau's profound engagement with solitude is encapsulated in his famous assertion, "I never found a companion that was so companionable as solitude." This statement reflects Thoreau's belief that solitude does not equate to loneliness. Rather, it offers a unique companionship found only in the quiet of being alone, a space where one can truly connect with their own thoughts and the natural world around them. Thoreau saw this concept as essential to understanding oneself and living authentically. It provided him the clarity to critique the societal conventions of his time and advocate for a life that prioritizes personal integrity, mindfulness, and a deep appreciation for the natural world. Turning to the Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, we find a philosophical tradition that also extols the virtues of being alone, albeit from a different angle. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who flourished in Greece and Rome, taught the importance of virtue, reason, and self-control. For them, it was not merely a physical state but a mental and emotional discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, in his Meditations, frequently emphasized the significance of retreating into one's own mind to find peace and clarity. He advocated for moments of loneliness as opportunities for self-reflection and personal growth. In his writings, he notes, "People seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, seashores and mountains, but this is altogether a mark of the most common sort of men, for it is in your power whenever you shall choose to retire into yourself." For Aurelius, true solitude was the ability to find a retreat within oneself, irrespective of one's physical surroundings. This inner quietness was crucial for maintaining equanimity amidst the chaos of life and for cultivating a life in accordance with reason and virtue. The Stoics viewed it as a time for self-reflection and personal growth, and it complements Thoreau's emphasis on this idea as a means to connect with nature and oneself. Both perspectives underscore the transformative power of this idea in fostering a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. The Stoics, through their emphasis on reason and self-control, and Thoreau, through his experiential connection with nature, both arrive at the conclusion that solitude is not merely a state to be endured, but a condition to be sought after for its enriching and clarifying potential. These philosophical traditions invite us to reconsider our modern aversion to being alone. In an age where constant connectivity is often celebrated, and quietness is frequently misunderstood as isolation or loneliness, the thoughts of Thoreau and the Stoics offer a counter-narrative. They remind us that it can be a source of strength, insight, and connection. It is in this quietness that we can confront our thoughts, challenge our assumptions, and cultivate the virtues that lead to a fulfilling life. Solitude, as these philosophers teach us, is not an escape from the world, but a deeper engagement with it, providing the silence and space necessary to hear our own voice and the whispers of the world around us. The philosophical appreciation of loneliness as a means towards self-discovery and personal growth offers a compelling alternative to the pervasive fear of missing out. It suggests that what we often fear missing out on may be superficial and fleeting compared to the profound insights and growth that can come from turning inward. By embracing this idea, we can find a companionable presence within ourselves, a sanctuary for reflection and renewal. This perspective does not diminish the value of social connections or experiences, but places them within a larger context of a life lived with intention and authenticity. In doing so, it invites us to balance our engagement with the world with periods of solitude, where we can cultivate the inner resources necessary for a life of purpose and meaning. Embracing solitude offers a myriad of benefits that span the cognitive, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of our lives. These benefits are not merely anecdotal. They are increasingly supported by scientific research, which provides a robust framework for understanding how it can enhance our well-being and capacity for creative and critical thinking. One of the most significant cognitive benefits of solitude is enhanced focus. In a world saturated with information and distractions, the ability to focus is more valuable than ever. It offers a reprieve from the constant barrage of notifications and demands on our attention, allowing our minds to reset and refocus. Research in the field of cognitive psychology has demonstrated that periods of loneliness can improve concentration and productivity. For instance, a study published in the journal Nature highlighted how uninterrupted quietness is crucial for deep thought and the synthesis of complex information. The quiet and detachment from social and digital stimuli provide the mental space necessary for engaging in focused work and for integrating new knowledge. Creativity is another cognitive benefit closely linked to this concept. This creativity link has been explored in various studies, suggesting that it provides the necessary conditions for creative thought to flourish. One mechanism through which solitude enhances creativity is by fostering what psychologists call incubation. Incubation refers to a period of rest or distraction from a problem, allowing unconscious processes to contribute to creative problem solving. Additionally, it encourages divergent thinking, a style of thinking that allows new ideas to be generated freely without the constraints of peer judgment or external criticism. A seminal paper in the Journal of Creative Behavior outlines how it contributes to higher creativity scores, positing that solitude acts as a catalyst for the free exploration of ideas and the construction of novel connections between concepts. On the emotional front, it offers profound benefits such as increased self-awareness, emotional regulation, and resilience. Self-awareness grows in moments of isolation because it provides the space for introspection. Without the influence of external opinions and behaviors, individuals can better understand their own emotions, motivations, and desires. This introspective process is crucial for personal development and emotional maturity. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who regularly engage in introspective solitude report higher levels of self-esteem and lower levels of anxiety compared to those who avoid it. Emotional regulation, the ability to manage and respond to one's emotions in a healthy way, is also enhanced by embracing moments of isolation. It provides the time to process emotions, reflect on emotional responses, and practice coping strategies without external pressures. This ability to sit with and work through emotions contributes to emotional resilience, equipping individuals to handle stress and adversity more effectively. Research in the field of psychology supports this, demonstrating that solitude can aid in the development of coping skills and emotional resilience by providing a quiet space for emotional processing and recovery. Spiritually, it offers the opportunity for meditation, mindfulness, and the exploration of one's purpose in life. Meditation and mindfulness practices are deeply rooted in traditions that value solitude as a path to spiritual enlightenment and self-realization. Contemporary research has shown that meditation and mindfulness can lead to significant improvements in mental health, stress reduction, and overall well-being. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Psychiatric Practice concludes that mindfulness meditation, often practiced in isolation, can have robust effects in treating symptoms of anxiety and depression, as well as improving general psychological well-being. Furthermore, it can be a fertile ground for exploring and finding one's purpose. Away from the noise and demands of everyday life, individuals can reflect on their values, aspirations, and the impact they wish to have on the world. This process of self-discovery and reflection can lead to a more purpose-driven life, imbued with a sense of clarity and direction. The existential philosophers have long argued for the necessity of being alone in confronting the fundamental questions of existence. And contemporary psychological research echoes this, linking a strong sense of purpose to higher levels of life satisfaction and well-being. The cognitive, emotional, and spiritual benefits of embracing this concept are multifaceted and profound. Supported by both philosophical insights and scientific research, it emerges as a vital component of a well-rounded, fulfilling life. It enhances our ability to focus, boosts creativity, facilitates emotional growth, and provides a space for spiritual exploration. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, the intentional pursuit of solitude can serve as a powerful tool for personal development and well-being. Embracing solitude in a world that often equates being alone with loneliness or unproductivity can seem daunting. However, the journey towards integrating practical isolation into our lives can be transformative, offering profound benefits for our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. To embark on this journey, it is essential to approach it with intention and openness. Here are practical tips for integrating this concept into your daily life, fostering an environment where you can thrive in your moments alone. Start small. Dedicate a few moments each day to solitude. The practice of embracing solitude need not begin with grand gestures or extensive periods of isolation. Instead, start small. Dedicate a few moments each day to be alone with your thoughts, free from the distractions of the outside world. This could be as simple as spending 5 minutes in the morning with your coffee, without the intrusion of your phone or other devices. It's about carving out intentional spaces in your day for this kind of isolation, even if brief. These moments provide a foundation upon which you can build a more profound relationship with this idea, gradually increasing the time as you become more comfortable and find value in these periods of quiet reflection. Create a ritual: reading, writing, walking in nature. One way to deepen your experience of solitude is to create rituals around it. Activities that signal to your mind and body that this time is different, sacred even. These rituals could involve reading, writing, or walking in nature. Reading in isolation allows you to immerse yourself in other worlds and ideas, sparking creativity and reflection. Writing, whether journaling about your day or exploring your thoughts on paper, provides a means to process emotions and clarify your thoughts. Walking in nature, free from the pull of technology, can help ground you in the present moment, fostering a sense of peace and connection to the world around you. Disconnect to reconnect. Limit social media and technology use. In our hyper-connected world, one of the most significant barriers to embracing this concept is the constant presence of technology and social media. These tools, while offering undeniable benefits, can also perpetuate feelings of FOMO and distract us from the value of spending time alone. To truly embrace it, it is crucial to disconnect intentionally, to set boundaries around your use of technology. This might mean designating certain times of the day as tech-free, turning off notifications, or having tech-free zones in your home. The goal is to limit the noise that technology can bring into our lives, creating space for silence and reflection. By disconnecting from the digital world, we open the door to reconnecting with ourselves, our thoughts, and the world around us in a more meaningful way. Reflect. Use isolation for self-reflection and journaling. This idea offers a unique opportunity for self-reflection, a time to turn inward and explore our thoughts, feelings, and aspirations. Journaling is a powerful tool in this process, providing a tangible way to capture our reflections, work through challenges, and celebrate successes. The act of writing can help clarify thoughts and emotions that might be muddled or confusing when left unexpressed. Furthermore, journaling in moments of isolation allows for a level of honesty and vulnerability with oneself that can be difficult to achieve in other contexts. Through reflection and journaling, solitude becomes not just a time to be alone, but a time to grow and learn about oneself. Embrace boredom. Let your mind wander and see where it takes you. In our always-on culture, boredom is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. Yet embracing boredom can be incredibly beneficial, especially in the context of solitude. Allowing your mind to wander without a specific goal or distraction can lead to bursts of creativity, problem-solving, and introspection. Boredom, in the absence of constant stimulation, forces our minds to engage in a kind of neural default mode, where we can make unexpected connections, generate new ideas, and reflect on our lives in a broader context. By embracing boredom, we allow ourselves the freedom to explore the vast landscape of our inner thoughts and feelings, often leading to insights and inspirations that would remain inaccessible in a perpetually distracted state. Incorporating these practices into your life can transform solitude from a state to be avoided into a cherished and productive time. The journey towards embracing this concept is personal and evolving, requiring patience and intention. However, the rewards of this journey are immeasurable, leading to enhanced creativity, emotional well-being, and a deeper understanding of oneself and one's place in the world. By starting small, creating rituals, disconnecting from technology, reflecting through journaling, and embracing boredom, you can unlock the profound benefits this idea has to offer, turning what was once feared into a source of strength and inspiration. In an era where our lives are increasingly mediated by screens, the concept of a digital detox has emerged as a crucial counterbalance. It refers to a designated period during which an individual intentionally refrains from using electronic devices such as smartphones, computers, and tablets. The primary aim of this practice is to reduce stress, enhance focus on social interactions in the physical world, and reconnect with oneself and one's environment, free from the constant pull of digital notifications and the glow of screens. The necessity for digital detoxes stems from the overwhelming digital consumption that characterizes modern life. This relentless engagement with these devices has profound implications for our mental health and the quality of our social relationships. The constant availability of information and the perpetual presence of social networks can lead to information overload, a state where the sheer volume of data exceeds our cognitive ability to process it. This overload not only contributes to stress and anxiety but also detracts from our ability to engage in meaningful social interactions, diminishing the quality of our relationships. The negative effects of excessive screen time and social media use are well documented. Studies and statistics have consistently demonstrated that prolonged exposure to screens can lead to decreased attention spans, disrupted sleep patterns, and increased feelings of loneliness and depression. For instance, research published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology links excessive screen time with symptoms of depression and anxiety, especially among adolescents. Another study from the Journal of Sleep Research highlights how screen use before bedtime can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to poorer sleep quality and shorter sleep duration. These findings underscore the tangible impacts of digital overload on our well-being. From a philosophical standpoint, the concept of technological determinism offers a lens through which to view the influence of digital devices on our lives. This theory suggests that technology shapes society and its cultural values, often in ways that we do not fully recognize. Our tools, from the plow to the smartphone, have not only changed how we interact with the world, but have also transformed our social structures, our ways of thinking, and our sense of self. In the context of digital technology, this means that our devices are not merely tools, but actors that fundamentally alter our experience of time, space, and relationships. Engaging in a digital detox can lead to a myriad of benefits. Improved mental health is one of the most significant advantages, with many individuals reporting reductions in anxiety and depression symptoms after periods of digital abstinence. This improvement is often attributed to the decreased pressure to constantly be available online and the reduced exposure to stress-inducing content. Increased productivity and creativity are also notable benefits. With fewer distractions from notifications and the endless scroll of social media, individuals can focus more effectively on tasks and engage more deeply in creative pursuits. This enhanced focus can lead to more significant accomplishments and a greater sense of satisfaction with one's work. Physically, a digital detox can lead to better sleep patterns and more time for physical activity. Without the blue light from screens disrupting our circadian rhythms, sleep quality can improve, leading to enhanced overall health. Additionally, the time reclaimed from screen use can be redirected towards physical activities, further benefiting one's health. Perhaps most importantly, digital detoxes can strengthen real-life relationships. By reducing the interference of these devices, individuals can engage more fully and meaningfully with others, enhancing the quality of these connections and fostering a greater sense of community and belonging. To embark on a successful digital detox, setting clear goals is crucial. Whether the aim is to have more time for hobbies, improve sleep, or strengthen relationships, having specific objectives can provide direction and motivation. Adopting a gradual approach to detoxing can also be effective. Starting with short periods of detox and gradually increasing the duration can make the process more manageable and less daunting. Creating tech-free zones in one's home, such as bedrooms or dining areas, can help establish boundaries for device use, while finding alternatives to screen time, such as reading, engaging in outdoor activities, or spending time with loved ones, can fill the void left by these devices with enriching experiences. Mindfulness and reflection are also key components of a digital detox. Using the time gained to engage in self-reflection, meditation, or journaling can help individuals reconnect with their inner selves and clarify their values and aspirations. Integrating these practices into daily life as a sustainable approach rather than a one-off event can lead to lasting benefits. Regularly assessing and adjusting one's digital consumption habits can help maintain a healthy balance between the online and offline worlds. A digital detox offers a pathway to reclaiming our time and attention from the demands of the digital world. By intentionally stepping away from our devices, we can improve our mental and physical health, enhance our productivity and creativity, strengthen our relationships, and reconnect with our deeper selves. In the quest to rebrand solitude, it's essential to shift the narrative from solitude being a state of being alone, often laden with negative connotations, to a chosen path of meaningful engagement with oneself. This rebranding involves challenging deeply ingrained societal perceptions that equate solitude with loneliness, isolation, or even social rejection. Instead, it should be celebrated as a valuable opportunity for introspection, creativity, and personal growth. It's a time to reconnect with oneself, to listen to one's thoughts and feelings without the distraction of constant social interaction or digital connectivity. This perspective transforms it from a condition to be avoided into a cherished and sought-after state, where the absence of others is not a void, but a space filled with potential for self-discovery and renewal. The rebranding of solitude is not without precedent. History is replete with individuals who have extolled the virtues of this kind of isolation and demonstrated its enriching effects on the human spirit. Consider the words of Albert Einstein, who said, I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. For Einstein, it was not just a personal preference, but a crucial ingredient in his intellectual work, providing him the space to ponder the mysteries of the universe. The joy and fulfillment found in moments of isolation are not despite being alone, but because of it. The solitude these individuals describe is not a barren landscape, but a fertile ground for the mind and spirit, where the silence outside mirrors the depth of exploration within. It is in these moments that one can hear the whispers of creativity, where one can wrestle with complex emotions and emerge stronger, and where one can connect with a sense of purpose that guides one's actions in the world. Rebranding solitude requires us to challenge our own perceptions and to question the societal narratives that paint it in a negative light. It invites us to explore this concept not as a state of deprivation, but as an opportunity for enrichment. This does not mean that social connections are not important. Humans are inherently social beings, and our relationships with others are a vital source of joy and support. However, by integrating periods of isolation into our lives, we can cultivate a deeper relationship with ourselves, which in turn can enhance our interactions with others. This idea, when embraced, can be a powerful tool for self-reflection. It allows us to pause and consider our life's direction, to reassess our goals and values, and to make changes that align more closely with our true selves. This process of self-reflection can lead to greater self-awareness, which is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. With increased self-awareness, we can navigate our relationships with more empathy and understanding, and we can make choices that are more congruent with our inner beliefs and desires. The challenge, then, is to rebrand solitude in our own lives, to seek out and cherish those moments of isolation, and to see them as precious opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This rebranding can begin with small steps, setting aside time each day for quiet reflection, engaging in activities that nourish the soul, or simply spending time in nature away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. Over time, these moments can become a cherished part of our routine, a sanctuary where we can recharge and reconnect with what matters most. In rebranding this concept, we also open the door to a more balanced life where action and reflection go hand in hand, where the noise of the world is balanced by the quiet of the soul, and where our connections with others are deepened by our connection with ourselves. This rebranded solitude is not a retreat from the world, but a deeper engagement with it, armed with a clearer sense of who we are and what we value. Thus, this journey is both a personal and a collective challenge. It requires us to confront our fears and prejudices about being alone, to explore the depths of our own solitude, and to share our discoveries with others. By doing so, we can shift the cultural narrative around solitude, turning it from a state to be feared into a state to be revered. As we journey through the landscapes of solitude and the joy of missing out, we've uncovered the transformative power that lies in stepping back from a world that never stops. In a society that glorifies perpetual busyness and constant connectivity, choosing moments of isolation represents a radical act of self-care and self-discovery. It's a deliberate choice to engage deeply with oneself, to listen to the whispers of one's inner voice, and to embrace the fullness of life away from the din of societal expectations. The joy of missing out, far from being a passive resignation to loneliness, is an active engagement with the world in a more intentional, meaningful way. It's about finding beauty in the quiet moments, wisdom in stillness, and strength in solitude. This journey invites us to reconsider what it means to be truly connected, not just to others, but to ourselves, our desires, and our dreams. In redefining success and happiness on our own terms, we challenge the narratives that have been handed down to us. We reject the notion that our worth is measured by how busy we are, how much we achieve, or how visible our lives are on social media. Instead, we assert that true success is found in the depth of our experiences, the quality of our relationships, and the authenticity of our lives. Happiness, then, becomes not a destination to be reached through external validation, but a path to be walked with intention and awareness. As we conclude this exploration, I encourage you to embark on your own journey into solitude. Let the quiet be your teacher and the stillness your guide. Allow yourself to get lost in the quiet, for it is in getting lost that we often find ourselves. The path may not always be easy, and the silence may at times feel uncomfortable, but the treasures to be found in solitude are worth every step. Remember, the world will always demand more of your time, your energy, and your attention. But it is up to you to choose how you engage with the world and on what terms. Make space for quietness in your life, not as an escape from the world, but as a way to live more fully within it. Embrace the joy of missing out as an opportunity to connect with what truly matters, to recharge your spirit, and to cultivate a life of purpose and meaning. As you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that this concept is not the absence of life, but a deeper immersion into it. Know that in the quiet moments, you are not alone, but in the company of your deepest self. And in those moments, may you find the clarity, peace, and inspiration to live your life with courage, compassion, and authenticity. So, let us not fear the quiet, nor the solitude that brings us face to face with ourselves. Instead, let us embrace it as the gift that it is, a path to discovering the richness of our own depths, a chance to breathe deeply and to live genuinely. The most profound journeys often begin with a single step away from the noise and into the silence. Imagine a world where every external event, every opinion, and every unforeseen circumstance no longer has the power to disturb your peace of mind. Where the storms of life rage around you, yet your inner tranquility remains unshaken. This is not a fantasy, nor is it the privilege of the few. It is a practical philosophy that has stood the test of time, accessible to anyone willing to learn its principles. Have you ever found yourself agonizing over things beyond your grasp, allowing them to dictate your happiness and peace of mind? In our lives, cluttered with endless notifications, demands for our attention, and the relentless pressure of societal expectations, it's easy to feel like we're at the mercy of an unstoppable torrent of external forces. But what if I told you there exists a time-tested strategy that empowers you to cut through this noise, to distinguish clearly between what matters and what doesn't, effectively allowing you to focus on what truly enriches your life? This isn't just another self-help gimmick, it's Stoicism, an ancient philosophy designed for living a good life in a tumultuous world. Stoicism teaches us the art of selective indifference, focusing our energy only on what we can control and learning to accept, with equanimity, what we cannot. The beauty of Stoicism lies not in a set of esoteric teachings, but in its practical application to everyday life. It's about making peace with imperfection, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, and realizing that true contentment comes from within. By watching this video, you're embarking on a journey that could radically transform your approach to life. You'll discover how to liberate yourself from the chains of external validation, break free from the cycle of unnecessary stress and anxiety, and cultivate a steadfast resilience against the vicissitudes of fate. The wisdom of Stoicism is more relevant than ever, offering a beacon of clarity in our fast-paced, complex world. But how, you might ask, can a philosophy that's thousands of years old be applicable to the challenges of modern life? How can ancient Stoic exercises and mindsets be integrated into our daily routines? And perhaps most importantly, can learning to care less about certain things really lead to greater happiness and fulfillment? These are the questions we will explore, providing you with concrete tools and strategies that you can apply to your own life. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true, or surely it's not that simple. And you're right. Like any worthwhile endeavor, mastering the Stoic way of life requires practice, reflection, and a willingness to challenge your preconceptions about what it means to live a good life. But the rewards, increased clarity, serenity, and resilience, are well within reach. As we delve into the core principles of Stoicism, from the wisdom of accepting what we cannot change to the pursuit of virtue as the highest good, you'll see how these ancient ideas can be brought to bear on the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. We'll examine real-life applications of Stoic practices, from managing negative emotions to making better decisions, and how adopting a Stoic mindset can lead to profound personal growth. Join me on a journey toward becoming a modern-day Stoic. Stoicism, a school of philosophy that has profoundly influenced the Western intellectual tradition, offers much more than mere historical curiosity. Originating in the bustling markets of ancient Greece, it was quickly embraced by some of the most forward-thinking minds of the time. However, it was in Rome that Stoicism found its most prominent voices. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king whose meditations offer timeless wisdom; Seneca, the playwright and statesman who penned letters that still resonate with readers today; and Epictetus, the former slave whose teachings captured the essence of Stoic philosophy. These figures didn't just teach Stoicism, they lived it, demonstrating that this philosophy was not an abstract theory but a practical manual for resilience in the face of adversity. At the heart of Stoicism is the concept of control. Stoics teach us a simple yet profoundly liberating truth. The only things truly under our control are our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Everything else, whether it be the opinions of others, our social status, or even the unfolding of global events, lies beyond our direct influence. This recognition is not a call to passivity, but a rallying cry for focusing our energy and effort where it can genuinely make a difference, on our personal development and actions. By internalizing this lesson, we can avoid much of the frustration and disappointment that arise from trying to control the uncontrollable, paving the way for a life of greater tranquility and effectiveness. Central to the Stoic worldview is the pursuit of virtue. For Stoics, virtue is not just moral righteousness, but encompasses wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are not merely abstract ideals, but practical qualities that guide our interactions with others and our approach to life's challenges. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, is the only true good, the sole source of genuine happiness. This perspective shifts our focus from external achievements and possessions to the quality of our character and our actions. In a world that often equates success with material wealth and social standing, Stoicism offers a radical alternative. True fulfillment comes from living in accordance with virtue. One of the most revolutionary Stoic principles is the idea that perception is reality. According to Stoicism, it is not external events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments and beliefs about them. This insight reveals the power of perspective. By changing how we view our circumstances, we can maintain our inner peace even in the face of adversity. This does not mean denying the reality of pain or difficulty, but recognizing that our response to these challenges is within our control. By cultivating a mindset that sees obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning, we can navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of tranquility and purpose. Stoicism also teaches us to embrace amor fati, or love of fate. This is the idea that we should accept and even cherish whatever life throws our way, viewing every experience as an opportunity for growth and learning. Rather than resisting or lamenting our fate, Amor Fati encourages us to lean into it, trusting that each challenge we face is an integral part of our journey. This acceptance does not mean passivity in the face of injustice or wrongdoing, but a deep-seated recognition that the path to personal and spiritual growth often lies through adversity. By adopting this stance, we can approach life with an open heart and a resilient spirit, ready to find meaning and value in whatever comes our way. Finally, Stoicism is rich with practical wisdom and exercises for daily life. Reflective journaling and contemplating the impermanence of things are two cornerstone practices within Stoicism, deeply interwoven with the philosophy's emphasis on self-awareness, personal growth, and mental resilience. Both exercises serve not just as theoretical concepts, but as practical tools that can significantly enhance our daily lives. Reflective journaling, as championed by Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, is a powerful exercise for fostering self-reflection, clarity, and wisdom. Aurelius's writings, which were personal reflections intended for his own guidance and improvement, exemplify how journaling can serve as a means to navigate the complexities of life and the challenges of leadership. Reflective journaling involves taking time each day to write down your thoughts, experiences, and reflections. The focus is on analyzing your actions, reactions, and the decisions you made throughout the day. This practice encourages you to consider how well you've aligned with your values and Stoic principles, identifying both your strengths and areas where you could improve. This exercise builds a heightened self-awareness, allowing you to see patterns in your thoughts and behaviors that you might wish to change. It also serves as a moment of self-connection, reducing stress by processing your experiences through writing. Over time, it builds a repository of personal wisdom, offering insights into how you've navigated past challenges and how you've grown. To start, dedicate a few minutes each evening to journaling. Reflect on the day's events, focusing on questions like, how did I respond to challenges today? Did my actions reflect my core values? How could I have handled situations differently? This process not only solidifies the day's learning, but also prepares you for future challenges with greater wisdom and equanimity. The second Stoic practice is contemplating the impermanence of things, memento mori, or remembering that you will die, encourages a deep appreciation for the present moment and a mindful acceptance of life's transient nature. This involves regularly reflecting on the temporality of life, the inevitability of change, and the certainty of loss. Such contemplation is not intended to be morbid, but rather to heighten our appreciation for the fleeting beauty of life and to focus our efforts on what truly matters. Contemplating impermanence helps to diminish the fear of death, a common source of existential anxiety. It fosters a greater appreciation for the present, encouraging us to live more fully and to not take our time, our loved ones, or our experiences for granted. It also prepares us mentally and emotionally for the inevitable changes and losses in life, reducing the impact of grief and shock when they do occur. Begin by setting aside time each week to quietly reflect on the impermanence of life. Consider the transient nature of your experiences, relationships, and material possessions. Ask yourself, am I using my time in a way that reflects my deepest values? Am I holding on to things, people, or ideas that I need to let go of? This practice can be both humbling and liberating, offering perspective on what is truly important and encouraging a more intentional approach to life. Through these principles and practices, Stoicism offers a roadmap for navigating the complexities of modern life with grace and wisdom. By focusing on what we can control, pursuing virtue, shifting our perceptions, embracing our fate, and engaging in reflective practices, we can cultivate a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. As we delve deeper into the teachings of Stoicism, we find not only historical insights but timeless wisdom that speaks directly to the challenges and opportunities we face today. Embarking on the journey towards Stoicism often begins in the midst of turmoil, at a point when life's relentless challenges seem insurmountable. My story is no exception. There was a time when the cacophony of external expectations and the sting of personal setbacks wove a heavy shroud around my existence. Each day felt like a battle, not against the world, but against my perceptions of what I believed I needed to be happy and successful. The external world demanded excellence, adherence to societal norms, and a relentless pursuit of goals that often felt alien to my core being. Personal setbacks, whether in relationships, career aspirations, or personal projects, seemed to underscore a haunting narrative of inadequacy. The weight of these combined pressures was not just heavy, it was suffocating, clouding my vision with a haze of doubt and despair. The discovery of Stoicism in this turbulent period was akin to a shipwrecked sailor spotting land. Initially, Stoicism presented itself not as a solution, but as a perspective, offering not an immediate escape, but a compass by which to navigate the stormy seas of life. The more I delved into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, the more I realized that the map I had stumbled upon was charted not for external voyages but for an inward journey, a journey toward understanding, accepting, and finally embracing the inherent challenges of existence. Stoicism did not promise an easy life. Rather, it offered the tools to endure life's difficulties with grace and resilience. The transformation that followed was not sudden, nor was it easy. Embracing Stoic principles required a fundamental shift in perspective, a re-evaluation of what I considered within my control and what lay beyond it. The initial step, recognizing the difference between these spheres of influence, was liberating in its simplicity. I began to understand that my reactions to external events and opinions were mine to control, even if the events themselves were not. This realization brought with it a profound sense of relief and empowerment. I learned to meet setbacks, not with resignation but with reflection, asking not why this had happened to me, but how I could respond in a manner aligned with my values and character. This shift in perspective was transformative, reshaping not only my response to adversity, but my entire approach to life. Where once I saw obstacles, I now saw opportunities for growth and learning. The pursuit of external validation gave way to an inner journey toward virtue and self-improvement. Relationships became less about seeking approval and more about mutual growth and understanding. Career setbacks transformed from failures into lessons in resilience and adaptability. Even daily annoyances took on a new light, serving as reminders of the practice of patience and acceptance. The most profound transformation, however, was in my overall sense of well-being. The constant anxiety that had once clouded my days began to lift, replaced by a sense of calm assurance in my ability to face whatever life presented. This was not the naive optimism of believing that nothing bad would ever happen. Rather, it was the stoic confidence of knowing that I could handle adversity with grace. My happiness became less dependent on external circumstances and more rooted in my values, actions, and the quality of my character. This journey into Stoicism has been one of continual learning and growth. Stoic practices, such as reflective journaling and contemplation of impermanence, have become regular parts of my routine, serving as constant reminders of the principles I strive to live by. The wisdom of Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue, control, and perspective, has not only provided a framework for navigating life's challenges but has also offered a path to a more meaningful and fulfilled existence. The transformation wrought by embracing Stoic principles is profound but not unique to me. It is a testament to the enduring relevance and power of Stoicism to effect change in our lives. By focusing on what we can control, pursuing virtue, and reframing our perceptions of adversity, we can all find greater peace, resilience, and fulfillment. The art of not caring, as advocated by Stoicism, is perhaps one of the most misunderstood aspects of this ancient philosophy. To the uninitiated, it might evoke images of detachment or a lack of empathy. However, the Stoic concept of not caring is far more nuanced and indeed liberating. It's about being selective in our concerns, focusing our attention and efforts on what truly matters and is within our control. This distinction is crucial, not only for personal tranquility, but also for leading a life of purpose and meaning. Implementing Stoic practices into daily life does not lead us to disengage from the world or from our responsibilities. Rather, it empowers us to engage more fully, but with a clarity that prevents us from being overwhelmed by externalities that we cannot influence. In practical terms, the application of Stoic practices in daily life can take many forms, all aimed at reinforcing the distinction between what is and is not within our control. One foundational practice is the morning meditation or reflection on the day ahead, focusing not on what might happen to us, but on how we intend to respond to whatever the day brings. This practice roots us in the present and prepares us for the inevitable challenges, reminding us that while we may not control the events themselves, our responses are ours to command. Such reflections help us set intentions based on virtue and purpose, rather than reactive emotions or external pressures. Start each day with a moment of reflection, considering the challenges you might face and reminding yourself of what is within your control, your responses, attitudes, and actions. Imagine you have a critical meeting with your boss scheduled. Instead of stressing over whether they will recognize your hard work or criticize you, focus on preparing yourself mentally to accept constructive feedback positively and to present your achievements confidently. This shift in focus empowers you to control your preparation and demeanor, rather than fixating on outcomes beyond your control. Another practical Stoic exercise involves reframing our challenges. When faced with adversity, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we shift our perspective to, "What can this teach me?" Or, "How can I use this experience to grow?" This reframe not only diminishes the emotional charge of the situation, but also transforms obstacles into opportunities for development. This Stoic reframe encourages resilience, as it directs our focus away from lamenting our fate to finding value and lessons in our experiences. It's a powerful shift that moves us from victimhood to agency, empowering us to take constructive action even in the face of difficulty. If you're passed over for a promotion, instead of wallowing in disappointment or envy, ask yourself what skills you can develop or feedback you can seek out to improve your chances next time. This approach transforms a setback into a stepping stone for personal and professional growth. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to practice gratitude, not in the superficial sense of simply counting our blessings, but in deeply appreciating the impermanence of life and the value of the present moment. By contemplating the transitory nature of our experiences and possessions, we cultivate a sense of gratitude for what we have here and now, reducing our anxiety about the future and our attachment to the material. This practice enhances our ability to live fully in the present, appreciating the simple joys in the people around us, thus enriching our daily lives with a sense of fulfillment and contentment. Regularly contemplate the impermanence of life and the value of the present moment to cultivate a deep appreciation for what you have, rather than pining for what you lack. During a quiet moment, perhaps while having your morning coffee, take the time to genuinely appreciate the simple comforts of your life, the roof over your head, the food on your table, or the presence of loved ones. This practice can turn routine moments into profound opportunities for happiness and connection. In addition to these reflective practices, Stoicism also encourages active engagement with the world through the practice of virtuous actions. Stoics believe that virtue is the only good, and that our character is the one thing we truly possess and can control. By choosing to act with kindness, integrity, patience, and courage, regardless of external circumstances, we not only improve our own lives but also contribute to the betterment of society. This aspect of Stoic practice emphasizes the interconnectedness of personal well-being and communal harmony, reinforcing the idea that by working on ourselves, we can make a positive impact on the world around us. Choose to act with kindness, integrity, patience, and courage every day, focusing on these virtues as guiding principles for your actions, regardless of how others may behave. When encountering someone rude or aggressive, whether in traffic or a work situation, choose to respond with patience and understanding rather than anger. Recognize that their behavior is outside your control, but you can control your reaction, choosing to act according to your principles of respect and empathy. Finally, the practice of evening reflection serves as a bookend to the day, providing an opportunity to review our actions, celebrate our successes in practicing Stoic principles, and identify areas for improvement. This practice of self-examination ensures that our commitment to Stoicism is not just theoretical but is actively integrated into the fabric of our daily lives, fostering continuous growth and self-improvement. End your day by reflecting on your actions, acknowledging your successes in living according to Stoic principles, and identifying areas for improvement. Before bed, review your day. Perhaps you lost your temper when your plans went awry, or maybe you found a moment of joy in helping a colleague. Acknowledge both these instances. Plan how you might maintain calm next time plans change, and remind yourself of the fulfillment found in acts of kindness. This reflection encourages personal growth and reinforces your commitment to Stoic living. Another example might be managing stress and anxiety in the workplace, especially during periods of intense pressure and tight deadlines, presents a scenario where Stoic principles can be particularly effective. Imagine you're part of a project team at work facing an imminent deadline. The stakes are high, and the workload seems insurmountable. The atmosphere is tense, and your anxiety levels are rising. This is a common situation many of us find ourselves in, feeling overwhelmed and stressed, which often leads to decreased productivity and a sense of helplessness. The real-world applications of Stoicism are as diverse as the challenges we face in our lives. From dealing with interpersonal conflicts to navigating career setbacks, from managing stress and anxiety to facing fears and uncertainties, Stoic practices offer a framework for responding to adversity with equanimity and integrity. By focusing on our responses, by embracing gratitude and the pursuit of virtue, and by engaging in reflective practices, we can retain our peace of mind and live with purpose, regardless of the external circumstances. This is the true art of not caring in the Stoic sense, a deliberate, thoughtful engagement with life that prioritizes inner tranquility and virtuous action over the relentless pursuit of external validations and outcomes beyond our control. The epiphany that emerges from embracing Stoicism is profound and transformative. It marks a significant turning point in one's approach to life, shifting the focus from an endless and often futile attempt to control external circumstances to cultivating strength, resilience, and freedom through the mastery of one's internal world. This Stoic revelation is not just an intellectual understanding, but a deeply felt realization that true freedom lies not in altering the landscape of our lives, but in changing how we perceive and interact with that landscape. For many, this realization comes as a liberating shock. We are conditioned from a young age to believe that success and happiness are predicated on external achievements and acquisitions, on the right job, the right relationships, the right possessions. Yet, this pursuit often leads to a sense of inadequacy and helplessness, as the happiness these achievements bring is fleeting, and their pursuit leaves us at the mercy of forces beyond our control. The Stoic epiphany challenges this fundamental assumption, proposing instead that true contentment and freedom are achievable not by changing our external conditions, but by transforming our internal responses to those conditions. Adopting this Stoic mindset initiates a new way of living, characterized by a profound sense of autonomy and peace. This does not mean that life suddenly becomes devoid of challenges, or that the Stoic practitioner becomes indifferent to joy or sorrow. Rather, it signifies a shift in how one engages with life's inevitable ups and downs. By focusing on what is truly within our control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we gain the ability to maintain our composure and integrity regardless of external events. This shift does not make life easier in the conventional sense. Challenges remain, and effort is still required to navigate them. However, it does make us stronger, imbuing us with the resilience to face adversity without being undone by it. Moreover, this Stoic approach to life brings with it a profound sense of freedom. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and start working on what we can actually influence, we free ourselves from the tyranny of external expectations and the fear of failure. This freedom is not a passive state but an active one, empowering us to take decisive action aligned with our values and convictions. It enables us to live authentically, making choices not based on fear or desire for approval, but on a clear understanding of who we are and what we stand for. The practical implications of this Stoic epiphany are vast and varied, touching every aspect of our lives. In personal relationships, it encourages us to focus on our behavior and attitudes rather than trying to change others, leading to healthier and more harmonious interactions. In professional life, it fosters resilience and adaptability, qualities that are invaluable in the face of change and uncertainty. Even in the realm of personal development and self-care, the Stoic mindset promotes a balanced approach, recognizing the value of effort and discipline while also accepting our limitations with grace. This new way of living is not a destination but a journey, one that requires continuous practice and reflection. The Stoic exercises discussed earlier, morning reflections, contemplation of control, reframing of challenges, and evening reviews, serve as daily reminders of this Stoic wisdom. Over time, these practices deepen our understanding and application of Stoic principles, reinforcing the epiphany that our true power lies not in dominion over the external world, but in mastery over our inner landscape. The Stoic revelation that true freedom comes from adjusting our internal attitudes rather than changing our external circumstances marks a pivotal moment in the Stoic journey. It challenges deeply ingrained beliefs about the sources of happiness and success, offering instead a path to genuine autonomy, resilience, and peace. Adopting this Stoic mindset transforms our engagement with life, empowering us to navigate its complexities with grace and equanimity. This transformation does not eliminate life's challenges, but it does change how we experience and respond to them, making us stronger, more resilient, and ultimately freer. The path to a Stoic life is not about suppressing your emotions or retreating from the world. It's about engaging with it more fully, with wisdom, virtue, and resilience. Start small, start today, and watch as the transformative power of Stoicism reshapes your world from the inside out. This is your moment, your life, your story. Make it a masterpiece. What if everything you've been taught about success, control, and happiness was actually making your life harder? We grow up believing that to achieve our dreams, we have to push, grind, and force our way through obstacles. We're told that the more we control, the more secure we'll feel. That happiness comes from chasing after the next big thing: money, relationships, recognition. But what if the real secret to fulfillment wasn't about trying harder, but about letting go? What if true mastery of life came not from effort, but from alignment with something far greater than our own desires? This is the paradox at the heart of Taoism, an ancient philosophy that challenges everything we think we know about life. And at the center of it all is Lao Tzu, a mysterious sage whose wisdom has shaped some of the greatest thinkers in history. We're going to dive into 10 of his most powerful teachings, lessons that will shift the way you see success, control, and even yourself. By the end of this video, you won't just understand Taoism, you'll have a new perspective on life itself. Lao Tzu is one of the most enigmatic figures in all of philosophy. Unlike other great thinkers, we don't even know if he truly existed. His name, which means old master, suggests wisdom accumulated over time. But whether he was a real person or a legendary figure, his teachings have shaped Eastern philosophy for over 2,500 years. According to legend, Lao Tzu was a government archivist in ancient China, someone deeply familiar with the workings of society and power. But as he grew older, he became disillusioned with the world of politics, corruption, and ambition. He saw people constantly chasing after wealth, status, and control, yet still feeling empty. Frustrated, he decided to leave civilization behind, riding on an ox towards the western mountains. As he reached the final gate of the kingdom, a guard recognized him and begged him to write down his wisdom before he disappeared forever. Lao Tzu agreed, and in a single sitting, he composed what is now known as the Tao Te Ching, a book of just 81 short verses that contains some of the most profound wisdom ever written. And then, just as mysteriously as he had appeared, Lao Tzu vanished, never to be seen again. His teachings, however, would go on to inspire millions, influencing Zen Buddhism, martial arts, poetry, and even modern psychology. But what exactly is Taoism, and why is it so different from everything we've been taught? At its core, Taoism is about alignment with the natural flow of life. The word Tao means the way, not a rigid set of rules, but the fundamental order of the universe, like the flow of a river or the changing of the seasons. Taoism teaches that everything in nature operates in perfect harmony, not by force, but by balance. The trees don't struggle to grow. The rivers don't force their way to the ocean. They follow their own natural course, and yet everything gets accomplished. This idea of effortless action is called Wu Wei, and it's one of the most misunderstood yet powerful concepts in all of philosophy. Most people think that success comes from relentless effort, from constantly pushing forward, but Taoism suggests the opposite, that by learning to move with the current rather than against it, we can achieve more with less struggle. This doesn't mean laziness, it means understanding when to act and when to let things unfold naturally. Imagine trying to hold water in your hands by squeezing it tightly. The harder you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you relax your hands, the water stays. That's Wu Wei in action. Taoism also teaches that life is best lived simply, without unnecessary complexity. In a world obsessed with productivity hacks, overthinking, and chasing after material things, Lao Tzu's wisdom reminds us that less is often more. True wisdom isn't about controlling everything, it's about understanding when to let go. At first, the idea of Wu Wei sounds strange. How can you take action without forcing anything? How can you achieve something without constant effort? It seems like a contradiction. After all, we've been taught that success only comes from hard work, from pushing through resistance, from exerting control over every detail of our lives. But Lao Tzu teaches something radically different. The more we struggle, the more we suffer. The more we force things, the more they resist us. Wu Wei is not about being passive or lazy. It's about moving in harmony with life, rather than fighting against it. Think about a river flowing down a mountain. It doesn't struggle. It doesn't force its way through obstacles. It simply moves around them, finding the easiest path, adapting to the terrain. And yet, over time, that gentle flow of water can carve through solid rock. That's the power of Wu Wei, effortless action that leads to deep, lasting impact. We can see this paradox in our own lives. Have you ever tried too hard at something, maybe in sports, at work, or even in a relationship, only to feel frustrated when things didn't go your way? Maybe you tried to force a creative breakthrough by thinking harder, only to come up empty. Or perhaps you desperately wanted someone to like you, but the more effort you put in, the more distant they became. This is the trap of over-efforting. When we force things, we create resistance. But when we relax, when we trust, when we allow things to happen naturally, we find that everything starts falling into place. The reason so many people feel stuck in life is because they are trying too hard in the wrong way. When you push too much, you tense up, both mentally and physically. This tension creates stress, anxiety, and burnout. You see it everywhere. Students who cram for exams and end up blanking out on test day, athletes who choke under pressure because they're trying too hard to be perfect, business people who burn out because they think success is about working longer hours rather than working smarter. Over-efforting leads to exhaustion, and exhaustion leads to frustration. Lao Tzu teaches that forcing things only makes them worse. Imagine trying to untangle a knot by pulling on it aggressively. The harder you pull, the tighter the knot becomes. But if you loosen your grip and gently work with the knot, it eventually unravels. Life works the same way. When we obsess over controlling every outcome, we create unnecessary struggle. We become impatient, frustrated, and stuck. But when we learn to step back and allow things to unfold naturally, solutions appear effortlessly. This doesn't mean we should sit around and do nothing. Wu Wei is not about being passive. It's about being aligned. When you act from a place of trust rather than fear, your actions become more powerful. Instead of forcing yourself to work harder, you start working smarter. Instead of trying to control people, you build relationships naturally. Instead of chasing happiness, you allow it to emerge from within. This is why Wu Wei is so important. It teaches us that true success comes not from struggle, but from flow. Many of the world's top performers, whether they know it or not, operate with the principles of Wu Wei. Take athletes, for example. When a basketball player is in the zone, they're not overthinking every movement. They're flowing effortlessly with the game. Their body moves instinctively, their mind is calm, and everything just works. This is Wu Wei in action, perfect performance without excessive effort. The same happens in music, art, and even business. Great musicians don't force every note. They feel the rhythm and let it guide them. The best entrepreneurs don't panic and micromanage everything. They trust their vision and adapt as needed. Even martial artists, especially in disciplines like Tai Chi and Aikido, understand this principle deeply. In these arts, strength does not come from brute force, but from using an opponent's energy against them. Instead of resisting an attack, they redirect it, effortlessly neutralizing the threat. This is why smaller, weaker fighters can defeat larger, stronger opponents, not by fighting force with force, but by flowing with the energy of the moment. In the modern world, we often associate success with struggle. We admire people who grind, who hustle, who sacrifice everything for their goals. But the reality is that the highest level of mastery often comes when effort disappears, when things feel effortless. If you look at truly successful people in any field, you'll notice that they don't just work hard, they work harmoniously. They know when to push, but they also know when to step back and let things happen. The more you try to control every detail of your life, the more you block the natural flow of things. Many people obsess over making the right decisions, fearing that one wrong move will ruin everything. But Lao Tzu reminds us that life is not a straight line. It's a river, constantly shifting and changing. Instead of clinging to rigid plans, we should learn to move with the current. Think about how creativity works. If you sit down and force yourself to come up with a great idea, nothing happens. But when you relax, maybe while taking a walk, showering, or even just daydreaming, that's when inspiration strikes. This is because creativity flows best in a state of ease, not tension. The same applies to relationships. The more you try to control or impress someone, the less natural the connection feels. But when you relax and be yourself, everything flows smoothly. The key to mastery in any area of life is trust. Trust that things will unfold as they should. Trust that your hard work will pay off without the need for stress and anxiety. Trust that sometimes stepping back is just as important as stepping forward. So how do you actually apply Wu Wei in your daily life? The first step is to let go of the belief that struggle equals success. Hard work is important, but Wu Wei teaches us that there is a difference between working hard and working against ourselves. When you force things, you create resistance. When you move with the natural flow of life, you create momentum. One way to practice this is by observing nature. Watch how trees sway with the wind rather than resisting it. Notice how rivers find their way around obstacles instead of trying to push through them. This is how life is meant to be lived, not by brute force, but by adaptability and ease. Another practical step is to cultivate mindfulness. Pay attention to moments when you're trying too hard, when you're tense, when you're forcing things. Ask yourself, is there an easier way? Often the answer is yes. Whether you're working on a project, dealing with a difficult person, or making an important decision, remind yourself to relax, to breathe, and to trust. Finally, embrace patience. Many of life's greatest rewards come not from immediate action, but from allowing things to develop naturally. Just as a tree doesn't grow overnight, success, happiness, and wisdom take time. Rushing the process only leads to frustration. But if you learn to flow with life, to take action without force, to work without obsession, to move without resistance, you'll find that things begin to fall into place effortlessly. This is the power of Wu Wei. This is the path of the Tao. Lao Tzu often used nature to explain the deepest truths of life, and one of his most famous metaphors is that of water. He said, "Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water, yet nothing can better overcome the hard and strong." At first, this might sound counterintuitive. How can something as gentle and formless as water be stronger than hard stone or metal? But if you observe nature, you'll see that this is exactly how the world works. Over time, flowing water can carve deep canyons into solid rock. Rain can wear down the tallest mountains. Waves can erode even the strongest cliffs. Water achieves this not by force, but by persistence, adaptability, and patience. Unlike rigid objects, which can break under pressure, water never resists. It simply moves around obstacles, finding the easiest path forward. If a river encounters a boulder, it doesn't try to push through it. Instead, it flows around it, wearing it down over time. This is the power of softness. Water never forces its way, yet it always reaches its destination. It moves effortlessly, yet it reshapes the world. This is the kind of strength that Lao Tzu encourages us to cultivate. A strength that doesn't come from brute force or stubbornness, but from adaptability, patience, and flow. Imagine a tree in a storm. A rigid tree with stiff branches will snap under the pressure of strong winds, while a flexible tree bends and sways, absorbing the impact without breaking. The same principle applies to human life. Those who are too rigid in their beliefs, too unwilling to change, or too obsessed with control often struggle the most when life throws unexpected challenges their way. But those who, like water, can adapt and adjust, are the ones who endure, who grow, and who ultimately overcome even the toughest obstacles. In our modern world, strength is often associated with aggression, dominance, and an unbreakable will. We admire people who refuse to back down, who push forward no matter the cost. But Lao Tzu teaches us that true strength is not found in resistance, but in the ability to yield when necessary. This doesn't mean being weak or passive. It means understanding when to push and when to let go. Think about an argument. When two people stubbornly refuse to budge, the conflict escalates. Neither side listens, and both walk away frustrated. But when one person chooses to step back, to listen, and to understand, the tension dissolves. They don't lose, they simply shift their approach, much like water moving around a rock. This is the power of yielding. The same applies to personal struggles. If you've ever been stuck in life, trying desperately to force something to happen, whether it's success, love, or happiness, you've probably felt the frustration of resistance. The harder you push, the more things seem to push back. But when you stop resisting and instead allow life to unfold naturally, things often start to fall into place. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals, but rather recognizing that sometimes the best way forward is not through force, but through patience, adaptability, and trust. Many people misunderstand yielding as weakness, but in reality, it takes far more strength to remain flexible than to remain rigid. A person who refuses to adapt is like a dried-up branch, brittle and easily broken. But a person who can bend and adjust, who can flow with the challenges of life, is unbreakable. One of the best modern examples of this philosophy comes from Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist. He was deeply influenced by Lao Tzu's teachings, and one of his most famous quotes perfectly captures the power of flexibility.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Bruce Lee understood that true mastery in martial arts or in life was not about being rigid and unchanging, but about adapting to whatever situation arose. In a fight, if you're too stiff, you become predictable and easy to defeat. But if you're fluid and responsive, you can adjust in real time, making you nearly impossible to pin down. This principle applies far beyond martial arts. In business, companies that refuse to adapt to changing trends and technologies often fail, while those that remain flexible survive and thrive. Think of how companies like Blockbuster clung to outdated models, while Netflix adapted to the digital age. In personal growth, people who stubbornly cling to old habits and beliefs often get stuck in life, while those who are open to learning and changing continue to evolve. The same applies to relationships. Many relationships fail not because of a lack of love, but because one or both partners refuse to compromise or adapt. When people insist on being right all the time, when they refuse to see another perspective, conflicts become endless. But when both partners are willing to listen, to adjust, and to flow with the changes that life brings, the relationship becomes stronger. Resilience is not about being unmovable. It's about being able to move with the waves of life without losing yourself. It's about knowing when to stand firm and when to let go. When you learn to be adaptable, challenges don't break you. Instead, they shape you, just as water shapes stone. Many of the biggest problems in life come from stubbornness, the refusal to change, to listen, or to let go. When people are too rigid in their beliefs, they stop growing. When businesses refuse to evolve, they become irrelevant. When relationships become about winning rather than understanding, they fall apart. Consider a person who refuses to admit they're wrong, even when the evidence is clear. Their pride keeps them stuck in ignorance. Or think about someone who is so fixated on a specific career path that they ignore new opportunities, only to realize years later that they were holding themselves back. In business, history is filled with examples of companies that failed because they refused to adapt. Kodak ignored digital photography, Nokia ignored smartphones, and both lost everything. On a personal level, stubbornness can lead to unnecessary suffering. How many people stay in toxic relationships because they refuse to accept that it's time to move on? How many people resist change even when it's clear that their old ways aren't working? Holding on too tightly, whether to a person, a belief, or a plan, often leads to frustration and pain. But when you learn to release, to adjust, to move with life instead of against it, everything becomes easier. So how can you apply this principle in your daily life? The first step is to become aware of where you are resisting change. Are there areas in your life where you are being too rigid? Are you holding on to outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, or unrealistic expectations? Start noticing when you feel frustrated, stuck, or overwhelmed. These are often signs that you are resisting instead of flowing. The next step is to practice flexibility. This doesn't mean you should have no goals or boundaries, but it does mean being open to adjustments. If something isn't working, instead of pushing harder, ask yourself, is there another way? Sometimes the best solution isn't to force an outcome, but to shift your approach. Finally, trust in the natural flow of life. Just as water always finds its way, so too will you, if you learn to move with the current instead of against it. Let go of the need to control everything. Be patient, be adaptable, be like water, because in the end, the softest thing in the world truly does overcome the hardest. Lao Tzu once wrote, "Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom." At first glance, this might sound simple. Of course, understanding other people requires intelligence, and understanding yourself seems like a good thing. But if we look deeper, this teaching reveals something profound about how most people live their lives. We are taught from a young age that intelligence is about learning facts, mastering skills, and understanding how the world works. We admire people who can analyze complex problems, memorize vast amounts of information, or explain difficult concepts with ease. And while this kind of external knowledge is useful, it is not the same as wisdom. Intelligence is about knowing the world outside of you, science, history, politics, business. But wisdom is about knowing yourself, your fears, desires, habits, and motivations. Someone can be incredibly smart in a traditional sense, capable of solving equations, debating philosophy, or running a business, but if they don't understand their own mind, they will still struggle in life. Wisdom is about self-awareness. It's about understanding your own emotions, recognizing your own weaknesses, and being honest about your motivations. You might be able to read other people well, predict their behavior, and even manipulate social situations to your advantage. But if you don't understand why you do what you do, then you are just a prisoner of your own impulses. True wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing yourself deeply enough to navigate life with clarity. One of the biggest obstacles to self-awareness is the constant search for validation. Many people spend their entire lives trying to impress others, seeking approval, and comparing themselves to those around them. Social media has made this worse than ever. People measure their worth by likes, followers, and comments. Instead of asking, "Who am I?" people ask, "How do I look to others?" They chase intelligence in the form of achievements, status, and external success, but they never take the time to understand their own minds. This endless comparison creates suffering. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you will always feel either superior or inferior, and both of these feelings are traps. If you feel superior, you become arrogant, blind to your own flaws. If you feel inferior, you become insecure, constantly seeking more validation. Either way, you are not truly in control of yourself. You are being controlled by outside forces, by the opinions and judgments of others. Many people don't even realize they are trapped in this cycle. They go through life thinking they are making independent choices, but in reality, they are just reacting to external pressures. They choose careers not because they love them, but because society values them. They chase wealth not because they need it, but because they think it will make them more respected. They follow trends, beliefs, and lifestyles that were never truly their own. And then, years later, they wonder why they feel empty, unfulfilled, or lost. Lao Tzu's wisdom reminds us that true fulfillment doesn't come from knowing what others think or from winning their approval. It comes from knowing yourself so deeply that you no longer need external validation. The more you understand yourself, the less you need the approval of the world. Every meaningful change in life starts with self-awareness. You cannot grow, improve, or find true happiness if you don't first understand who you are. If you don't know your own weaknesses, how can you fix them? If you don't understand what truly makes you happy, how can you chase the right goals? If you are blind to your own patterns, you will keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Many people try to change their lives without first understanding themselves, and this is why they fail. They jump from one job to another, one relationship to another, one goal to another, always hoping that the next thing will make them happy. But external change means nothing if your internal world remains the same. No matter where you go, no matter what you achieve, you will always bring yourself with you. If you don't know yourself, then no amount of external success will ever satisfy you. This is why wisdom is more important than intelligence. Intelligence can help you succeed in the external world, but wisdom helps you succeed in the internal world. Intelligence might get you a high-paying job, but wisdom helps you understand what truly fulfills you. Intelligence can help you win arguments, but wisdom helps you avoid unnecessary conflicts. Intelligence can teach you how to impress people, but wisdom helps you build real, meaningful relationships. In today's world, distractions make self-awareness harder than ever. People are constantly bombarded with noise, news, advertisements, opinions, entertainment. Many people never sit in silence, never spend time alone with their own thoughts. They are always consuming, always reacting, never pausing to reflect. But without introspection, without self-examination, personal growth is impossible. If you don't take the time to understand yourself, then you will be at the mercy of outside influences for your entire life. The modern world is designed to keep people distracted. Every time you feel uncomfortable, there is a quick way to escape. Scroll through your phone, watch a video, play a game, text a friend. People rarely sit with their own thoughts anymore, and this is a big problem. When you are constantly distracting yourself, you never develop a deep understanding of your own mind. You avoid your fears, your insecurities, and your deeper questions. You never ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why do I keep making the same mistakes? What do I really want? Many people confuse distraction with happiness. They keep themselves busy so they don't have to face their own thoughts. But real happiness doesn't come from running away. It comes from knowing yourself well enough that you don't need distractions to feel at peace. True wisdom means being comfortable with silence, with solitude, with your own mind. If you are always running from yourself, then no matter how much intelligence you have, you will always feel lost. Lao Tzu's message is clear. You cannot find fulfillment in the outside world if you have not first found it within yourself. Wisdom is about looking inward, questioning your own mind, and learning to be at peace with who you are. So how can you develop self-awareness? How can you truly know yourself? Here are 3 powerful techniques that will help. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to develop self-awareness. It allows you to observe your thoughts without getting lost in them. Most people go through life without realizing how much their mind controls them. Meditation helps you step back and watch your thoughts like a spectator, which gives you a deeper understanding of your emotions, fears, and desires. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes a day of sitting in silence and observing your breath. Over time, you'll notice patterns in your thinking and become more aware of your own mental habits. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts forces you to confront them. It helps you see your emotions clearly and track your progress over time. Try writing down your feelings at the end of each day. What made you happy? What frustrated you? What thoughts kept repeating in your mind? The more you write, the more you will understand yourself. Journaling also helps you notice patterns. If you keep struggling with the same problem, writing about it will make you more conscious of it, allowing you to change. Solitude. Spending time alone, without distractions, is essential for self-awareness. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit in a quiet room without music or social media. Just be with your own thoughts. At first, this might feel uncomfortable, but over time, you'll start to enjoy the clarity it brings. Solitude helps you reconnect with your inner world, away from the noise of society. The more time you spend understanding yourself, the less you will rely on external validation. You will stop comparing yourself to others, stop chasing meaningless goals, and start living in alignment with your true self. This is the wisdom that Lao Tzu speaks of, not just knowing the world, but knowing yourself deeply enough to walk your own path with confidence. Lao Tzu teaches that desire is one of the main causes of human suffering. He believed that when we are constantly wanting more success, more possessions, more recognition, we create endless dissatisfaction in our lives. This is because desire is a never-ending cycle. As soon as we get what we want, a new desire takes its place. We achieve one goal and immediately set another. We buy something new, and soon it loses its excitement. No matter how much we acquire, there is always something else to chase. Taoism teaches that true peace comes not from fulfilling every desire, but from freeing ourselves from the grip of constant wanting. This doesn't mean we should never have goals or ambitions, but rather that we should not become attached to them. There is a big difference between working towards something with a sense of joy and purpose, versus feeling like we need something to be happy. The first approach leads to a peaceful and fulfilling life, while the second leads to endless frustration. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you grasp it tightly, trying to hold on to every grain, it slips through your fingers. But if you keep your hand open and relaxed, the sand stays. Life works the same way. The more we cling to things, money, relationships, success, the more they tend to slip away. But when we approach life with an open heart, enjoying what we have without being obsessed with more, we find true contentment. Lao Tzu encourages us to shift our mindset from chasing happiness to allowing happiness. Instead of believing that happiness comes from achieving, owning, or proving something, we should understand that happiness is a state of being, one that is available to us when we stop trying to control everything and simply live in harmony with the present moment. The problem with desire is that it never truly ends. The moment we satisfy one craving, another one takes its place. This is why so many people go through life feeling unfulfilled, even if they have everything they once wished for. A person might dream of getting rich, thinking money will make them happy. But once they have wealth, they start wanting status. Once they have status, they start wanting fame. Once they have fame, they start wanting privacy. The cycle never stops. This is because desire is based on the idea that happiness exists somewhere in the future, rather than in the present. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I get this job, when I buy this house, when I find the right partner. But when we finally get what we want, we quickly adjust to it, and the feeling of happiness fades. This is known as the hedonic treadmill, a psychological phenomenon where no matter how much our circumstances improve, we always return to our baseline level of happiness. Lao Tzu's wisdom teaches us that the only way to break free from this cycle is to change our relationship with desire itself. Instead of constantly chasing after the next thing, we should learn to appreciate what we already have. Instead of believing that happiness is something we must achieve, we should recognize that it is something we can cultivate within ourselves. Taoism does not say that we should have no desires at all. Wanting to grow, to learn, to create, these are natural parts of being human. The key is to desire without attachment. This means working towards something without believing that our happiness depends on it. It means enjoying the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. When we stop believing that external things will complete us, we finally become free. Modern society is built on feeding our desires. Everywhere we look, we are bombarded with messages telling us that we need more. More money, better clothes, the newest phone, the perfect body. Advertisers spend billions of dollars every year creating a sense of lack within us, making us believe that we are not enough as we are. And because we are constantly being told that happiness comes from external things, we keep chasing after them, never realizing that the game is rigged. Social media has made this even worse. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook are designed to trigger our desires. They show us carefully curated versions of other people's lives, making us feel like we are missing out. They use algorithms to keep us addicted, constantly craving more likes, more followers, more attention. The moment we get a notification, our brain releases dopamine, the same chemical involved in addiction. But just like with any other drug, the high is temporary. Once it wears off, we need another hit. This is why so many people feel empty despite spending hours scrolling through their feeds. The problem isn't social media itself, it's our attachment to it. Many people measure their self-worth based on how many likes they get or how perfect their life looks online. They become trapped in a cycle of seeking validation from others, rather than finding happiness within themselves. Lao Tzu's teachings remind us that this kind of attachment only leads to suffering. When we rely on external things for happiness, whether it's material possessions, social approval, or personal achievements, we give away our power. We become slaves to things that are always changing, always outside our control. True peace comes from stepping outside this cycle. It comes from realizing that we don't need to constantly chase, constantly compare, constantly prove ourselves. The less we depend on external things to make us happy, the more freedom we have to simply enjoy life as it is. Some people misunderstand Taoism and think that it promotes laziness or a lack of ambition. This is not true. Taoism does not say we should stop working toward our goals. It simply teaches us to do so with a sense of ease rather than desperation. There is a difference between working towards something with passion and being obsessed with achieving it. Natural ambition comes from a place of inspiration. It is when we create, learn, or grow simply because we love doing it. A musician who plays because they love music, a writer who writes because they enjoy expressing ideas. This is natural ambition. Unhealthy attachment, on the other hand, comes from a place of insecurity. It is when we feel that we need to achieve something in order to be happy, successful, or worthy. A person who works 80 hours a week, not because they love their job, but because they are terrified of failure. That is attachment. Lao Tzu's wisdom teaches us to act without attachment. This means pursuing our dreams, but not allowing our happiness to depend on them. It means striving for success, but not becoming so fixated on it that we forget to enjoy life. It means doing our best, but also knowing when to let go. If we want to free ourselves from the suffering caused by desire, we need to cultivate a mindset of detachment and simplicity. Here are some practical ways to do this. Practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you already have. Each day, take a moment to appreciate the good things in your life. This shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Limit unnecessary consumption. Be mindful of how much time, money, and energy you spend chasing things that don't truly bring you joy. Simplify your life by letting go of what you don't need. Detach from external validation. Stop seeking approval from others. Focus on being your authentic self, rather than trying to impress or compete with people. Meditate on impermanence. Remind yourself that everything in life is temporary. Possessions, achievements, even emotions. Learning to accept this makes it easier to let go. Enjoy the present moment. Instead of always thinking about the future, practice being fully present in whatever you are doing. Happiness is not in the next goal, it is in the here and now. When we detach from constant wanting, we discover something incredible: peace, freedom, and a deep sense of contentment. Instead of running toward happiness, we realize that it was always within us, waiting to be found. Lao Tzu teaches that the best way to live is to flow with life rather than trying to force it into a rigid structure. One of his most famous teachings is, "A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving." At first, this might sound strange. How can a traveler not have a plan? Isn't having a destination and a map the key to success? But what Lao Tzu is really teaching is that when we become too attached to specific plans, we lose the ability to experience life as it naturally unfolds. Imagine someone who plans every moment of a trip down to the smallest detail. They create strict schedules, they have a fixed itinerary, and they feel stressed when things don't go exactly as expected. If a flight is delayed, if the weather changes, if something unexpected happens, they become frustrated and anxious. Now, compare that to a traveler who has a general idea of where they want to go but is open to change. If they stumble upon a beautiful place, they stay longer. If they meet interesting people, they adjust their plans. They experience life as it comes, rather than trying to force it into a pre-planned script. Taoism teaches that life itself is a journey, and the best way to travel through it is with openness and flexibility. When we become obsessed with our plans and expectations, we miss out on the beauty of the present moment. When we cling too tightly to a specific path, we ignore other possibilities that might be even better. Just like a traveler who explores freely, we should learn to approach life with a sense of curiosity and adventure, rather than fear and control. Many people believe that in order to succeed, they must have everything planned out in advance. Society encourages us to create detailed life plans: what career to pursue, when to get married, how much money to save, where to live. From a young age, we are told to set clear goals and follow a step-by-step path toward achievement. While having goals can be useful, the problem comes when we become so rigid that we cannot adapt when life takes an unexpected turn. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, things will not always go the way we expect. Jobs change, relationships evolve, opportunities come and go. If we are too attached to a specific outcome, we set ourselves up for disappointment. People who cling to their plans often become frustrated, anxious, or even depressed when things don't go according to their expectations. Instead of adjusting and finding new opportunities, they feel like they have failed. A common example of this is people who enter a career because they planned it when they were younger, only to realize years later that they hate their job. But instead of changing paths, they stay because they are afraid to abandon their plan. They have spent so much time and energy pursuing a certain goal that they don't want to admit that it no longer serves them. This is what happens when we prioritize rigid plans over present moment awareness. Instead of living with flexibility, we become prisoners of our own expectations. Lao Tzu's wisdom reminds us that it is okay to change direction. Life is not a straight line. It is a flowing river. When we let go of rigid plans, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We stop seeing unexpected changes as problems and start seeing them as opportunities. We stop resisting life and start working with it. One of the biggest causes of stress and anxiety in modern life is the obsession with control. Many people believe that if they plan every detail of their future, they can avoid uncertainty and guarantee success. But in reality, over-planning often leads to more stress, not less. The more we try to control everything, the more frustrated we become when things don't go as expected. Think about how often people stress about the future, worrying about their career, their finances, their relationships. They spend so much time trying to predict and control what will happen that they forget to actually live. But no amount of planning can eliminate uncertainty. Unexpected events will always happen. The economy might change. A new opportunity might appear. A relationship might take a different course. When we over-plan, we create an illusion of control, but life always finds a way to remind us that we are not in charge. Another problem with over-planning is that it can lead to missed opportunities. When we become too focused on a specific goal, we often ignore other possibilities that might be even better. Imagine someone who is so determined to follow their planned career path that they ignore a new passion that excites them. Or someone who is so committed to a relationship that they ignore red flags because it doesn't fit their original vision of their future. When we are too attached to a plan, we become blind to other paths that might lead to even greater happiness. The most successful and fulfilled people are often those who remain open to change. They may have general goals, but they are not afraid to adjust their path when new opportunities arise. They trust that life will unfold in unexpected ways, and instead of resisting, they embrace it. This ability to adapt is what allows them to thrive, no matter what challenges come their way. History is filled with stories of people who achieved success not by rigidly sticking to a plan, but by being adaptable and open to change. Some of the greatest innovators, entrepreneurs, and artists found their path by accident, not because they planned it, but because they were willing to explore new directions. One famous example is Steve Jobs. When he dropped out of college, he didn't have a clear plan for his future. Instead of following a traditional career path, he explored his interests. He took a calligraphy class simply because he found it interesting, not knowing that years later it would influence the elegant design of Apple computers. If Jobs had rigidly stuck to a pre-planned career, he might never have created the groundbreaking technology that changed the world. Another example is J.K. Rowling. Before she became one of the most successful authors in history, she faced multiple failures. She had planned to work in a steady job, but life had other ideas. After going through personal struggles, she found herself writing Harry Potter while living in difficult circumstances. If she had stubbornly clung to her original plans, she might never have pursued writing as a career. Her success came not from rigid planning, but from adapting to life's unexpected turns. These stories show that the best opportunities often come from unexpected places. The most successful people are not those who stick rigidly to a plan, but those who are open to change and willing to take a different path when life presents a new opportunity. So how can we apply this wisdom in our own lives? The key is to develop a mindset of trust and adaptability. Here are some practical ways to embrace spontaneity and let go of rigid planning. Set general goals, but stay flexible. It's good to have a direction in life, but don't become obsessed with a specific path. Allow yourself to adjust when new opportunities arise. Practice present moment awareness. Instead of constantly worrying about the future, focus on what is happening right now. Appreciate the small joys of daily life. Say yes to new experiences. Be open to unexpected opportunities. Try new things, meet new people, and explore different paths. Let go of the need for certainty. Accept that life is unpredictable. Instead of fearing the unknown, see it as an adventure. Trust yourself. Believe that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it. Life may not always go as planned, but that doesn't mean it won't turn out even better. When we stop trying to control everything and start flowing with life, we experience more joy, less stress, and greater fulfillment. The best journeys are often the ones we never planned. The best opportunities are often the ones we never expected. A good traveler has no fixed plans, not because they are lost, but because they trust the journey. In today's world, power is often associated with control, dominance, and authority. People believe that to be powerful, they must assert themselves over others, command respect through force, and always be in charge. This belief is reinforced by society, whether in politics, business, or personal relationships. We are taught that the person with the most control is the one who wins. But Lao Tzu presents a completely different view of power. He teaches that true strength does not come from force, but from letting go of the need to control it all. The person who is truly powerful does not dominate, they influence. They do not force outcomes, they align with them. The illusion of power is that control equals security. People seek control because they fear uncertainty. They believe that if they can just control their employees, their children, their relationships, or their circumstances, they will be safe. But control is always an illusion, because life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how much power someone appears to have, they can never control everything. A king might rule over a nation, but he cannot control the weather, the thoughts of his people, or the passage of time. A CEO might run a company, but they cannot control the market, the competition, or the emotions of their employees. The moment someone believes they have absolute control, they set themselves up for failure because reality will always prove them wrong. This is why dictators, tyrants, and aggressive leaders eventually fall. They believe that their power will last forever, that their force will keep them in control. But history shows that those who rule with fear and oppression do not stay in power long. People eventually resist. Systems eventually collapse. And the ones who rise to true greatness are not those who force their will upon others, but those who understand the deeper nature of power, one rooted in humility, adaptability, and service rather than control. One of Lao Tzu's most profound teachings is that the strongest person is the one who does not need to show their strength. He compares true leaders to water, soft, flexible, and humble, yet capable of wearing down even the hardest rock over time. Water does not try to control its surroundings, it simply flows. It does not fight obstacles, it moves around them. It does not need to prove its power is self-evident. The strongest leaders are not the ones who impose their will through intimidation, but those who inspire naturally. The best warriors are not the ones who fight every battle, but those who avoid unnecessary conflict. The wisest people are not those who claim to know everything, but those who are humble enough to keep learning. Humility is a paradox. The moment someone feels the need to prove their power, they reveal their insecurity. True confidence does not need validation. A strong person does not need to tell others they are strong. They simply are. A wise person does not need to boast about their wisdom. They let their actions speak for themselves. A great leader does not need to demand loyalty. People follow them willingly. Service is another misunderstood form of power. Many think that serving others is a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest forms of strength. The best leaders serve their people, not the other way around. The most influential figures in history did not seek power for themselves. They uplifted others, and in doing so, they became powerful beyond measure. Their leadership was not based on control, but on compassion. People followed them because they inspired trust, not because they demanded obedience. Lao Tzu teaches that power should never be about personal gain. When someone desires power for the sake of control, they become weak because they depend on external validation. But when someone wields power as a responsibility to serve, they become truly unstoppable. The most powerful person in the room is not the loudest or the most aggressive. It is the one who does not need to prove anything at all. It may seem counterintuitive, but the people who leave the greatest impact on the world are often the ones who think the least about themselves. This is because true influence comes from connection, not coercion. When someone acts purely out of self-interest, they may achieve short-term success, but they will never inspire genuine loyalty or respect. On the other hand, those who serve others naturally gain influence because people trust them, respect them, and want to follow them. Take the example of great teachers. The best teachers are not the ones who lecture endlessly to prove their intelligence, but those who genuinely care about their students' growth. They do not see themselves as above others, but rather as guides who help others find their own wisdom. Because of this, their influence lasts far beyond the classroom. Their students carry their lessons for a lifetime. The same applies to business leaders. The most successful companies are often led by people who prioritize serving their employees and customers, rather than just maximizing their own profits. Leaders who care about their people create workplaces where employees feel valued, and as a result, those employees are more motivated, more loyal, and more productive. In contrast, leaders who rule through fear and control create toxic environments where people do the bare minimum to avoid punishment. The difference is clear. Power built on service is sustainable, while power built on force eventually collapses. Even in personal relationships, the most respected people are those who give freely without expecting anything in return. A person who constantly demands respect, validation, and attention will eventually drive others away. But someone who gives support, kindness, and wisdom without seeking reward naturally attracts meaningful relationships. People are drawn to those who uplift them, not those who try to control them. Lao Tzu teaches that influence is like a shadow. If you chase it, it runs away, but if you walk forward with purpose, it follows you effortlessly. When you stop seeking power for yourself and instead focus on helping others, you gain more power than you ever could by force. Lao Tzu's wisdom is more relevant today than ever. In an age where leadership is often associated with ego, competition, and control, his teachings offer a refreshing perspective. True leadership is not about commanding. It is about inspiring. It is not about taking. It is about giving. Many of the world's most effective leaders apply these principles, whether consciously or not. Companies like Patagonia prioritize ethical business practices, putting people and the environment over excessive profit, and as a result, they have earned deep customer loyalty. Visionary leaders like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos succeed not because they seek control, but because they create ideas so powerful that people want to follow them. Even in politics, the most beloved leaders are those who lead with humility, not arrogance. The best leaders understand that power is not something to be seized. It is something that is given freely by others. The moment you have to force people to follow you, you have already lost. The leaders who last are the ones who serve, who uplift, and who empower others rather than just themselves. So how can we apply this wisdom to our own lives? Whether you are a leader in your career, in your community, or even in your personal relationships, here are some ways to lead through influence rather than force. Listen more than you speak. The most powerful leaders are not the ones who talk the most, but the ones who truly listen. When you understand others deeply, you gain their trust and respect. Lead by example. Instead of telling people what to do, show them through your own actions. Be the kind of person you want others to follow. Serve rather than command. The best way to gain influence is by helping others succeed. Support those around you, and they will naturally support you in return. Let go of the need to prove yourself. Confidence does not come from forcing others to recognize your power. It comes from being secure enough that you do not need validation. Trust in the natural flow of influence. You do not need to seize power. It will come naturally when you act with integrity, wisdom, and humility. True power is not about having control over others. It is about having control over yourself. When you let go of the need for power, you become truly powerful. Lao Tzu teaches that simplicity is not just a lifestyle choice, it is a path to wisdom, clarity, and peace. In a world that constantly tells us that more is better, more possessions, more information, more responsibilities, Taoism reminds us that true sophistication comes from understanding what is essential and letting go of everything else. When we remove the unnecessary, we create space for what truly matters. Simplicity applies to every area of life. In our thoughts, it means not overcomplicating things, not dwelling on useless worries, and not filling our minds with unnecessary noise. In our possessions, it means owning only what we need and value, rather than hoarding things just for the sake of having them. In our actions, it means focusing on what is meaningful and effective, rather than wasting energy on distractions. Simplicity does not mean deprivation. It means clarity. It means choosing what is truly important and letting go of everything that clutters our minds, our homes, and our lives. Most people believe that a complex life is an advanced life, but this is an illusion. Complexity often leads to stress, confusion, and inefficiency. When we have too much clutter, whether mental, physical, or emotional, it becomes harder to focus, harder to think, and harder to enjoy life. Simplicity, on the other hand, brings peace. A simple life is not an empty life. It is a life filled only with what is meaningful. The fewer distractions we have, the more energy we can devote to what truly fulfills us. One of the biggest misconceptions in modern society is that complexity equals intelligence. Many people believe that the more complicated something is, the more impressive it must be. We admire experts who use big words, technology that is packed with features, and ideas that seem difficult to understand. But Lao Tzu's philosophy reminds us that true intelligence is about making things simple, not making them complicated. Consider the greatest minds in history. Albert Einstein one of the most brilliant physicists of all time, once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, believed that simplicity was the highest form of sophistication. He understood that technology should be intuitive, not confusing. That's why Apple products became so successful. Not because they were filled with unnecessary features, but because they were designed to be simple, elegant, and easy to use. Complexity is often a sign of confusion, not intelligence. Many people overcomplicate things because they don't fully understand them. They add unnecessary steps, overthink problems, and make things harder than they need to be. But those who truly master a subject can break it down into its simplest form. This is why the wisest teachers make learning feel effortless. They strip away the unnecessary details and get straight to the essence of what matters. Lao Tzu teaches that wisdom is about seeing the natural simplicity of things. Nature itself is simple, yet profoundly effective. A tree grows without needing instructions. A river flows without needing complex systems. The natural way of the universe operates effortlessly. When we align ourselves with this principle of simplicity, our lives become clearer, more peaceful, and more effective. One of the greatest secrets of highly successful people is that they simplify their lives as much as possible. They understand that complexity is a distraction, so they remove anything that does not contribute to their goals. Take Steve Jobs as an example. He wore the same type of outfit every day, black turtleneck jeans and sneakers. Why? Because he didn't want to waste mental energy deciding what to wear. He realized that small decisions, when repeated every day, add up and drain mental focus. By simplifying this aspect of his life, he freed up energy for more important things. The same principle applies to many other high achievers. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and creatives limit their daily choices so they can focus on what truly matters. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt every day. Warren Buffett lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago. Many elite athletes follow strict, simple routines so they don't have to think about what to eat, when to train, or how to prepare. They remove unnecessary decisions from their lives, allowing them to direct their energy toward their most important work. This idea extends beyond personal habits. It applies to businesses, strategies, and even creative work. The best products are often the simplest. The most effective strategies are the ones that cut away the unnecessary steps. The most inspiring speeches are often the ones with the fewest words. Simplicity is powerful because it removes distractions and makes things clearer, more efficient, and more impactful. Lao Tzu teaches that we should take this approach to every aspect of our lives. Instead of making things more complicated, we should ask ourselves, what is truly important? What can I remove? When we simplify, we create more space for what actually matters. One of the biggest problems in today's world is that we are constantly surrounded by unnecessary complexity. We live in an age of information overload. Every day we are bombarded with endless choices, constant notifications, and a never-ending stream of opinions, news, and entertainment. Think about how many choices you face each day. What to eat, what to wear, what to watch, what to buy. Social media alone is filled with countless voices, all competing for your attention. Advertisers try to convince you that you need more products. News outlets try to keep you hooked on fear and outrage. Businesses keep creating new features, new options, new distractions. It's easy to get lost in this sea of complexity, feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and drained. But what if you didn't have to engage with all of it? What if you could step back and simplify your world? Taoism teaches us that much of what we consider important is actually just noise. Many of the things we stress about are unnecessary. Many of the things we chase after don't bring real happiness. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, we can choose a simpler path. By eliminating the unnecessary, we create more time, more focus, and more peace. We stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start focusing on what truly enriches our lives. So how can we apply this wisdom in our daily lives? Here are some practical ways to simplify. Declutter your physical space. A cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. Go through your belongings and ask yourself, do I truly need this? Does it bring value to my life? Let go of anything that is just taking up space. A clean, simple environment leads to a more peaceful mind. Limit your choices. Reduce the number of decisions you make each day. This could mean simplifying your wardrobe, eating similar meals, or creating routines that remove unnecessary choices. The fewer decisions you have to make, the more mental energy you conserve. Reduce mental clutter. Be mindful of what you consume. Limit social media, unnecessary news, and negative influences. Choose quality over quantity when it comes to information, entertainment, and even relationships. Prioritize what matters. Identify the few things that truly matter to you and focus on them. Cut out activities, commitments, and distractions that don't contribute to your well-being. When you stop trying to do everything, you can focus on what is truly meaningful. Embrace stillness and simplicity. Spend time in silence, meditate, go for a walk without your phone, slow down and appreciate the simple moments in life. True peace comes not from doing more, but from needing less. When we simplify, we free ourselves. We stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start living with more clarity, more purpose, and more joy. Lao Tzu's wisdom teaches us that simplicity is not about having less. It's about making space for more of what truly matters. Lao Tzu teaches us one of the most calming and reassuring truths about life. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. This simple yet profound statement reveals a deep wisdom. Life unfolds in its own time, without force, without struggle, without unnecessary rush. Look at the natural world. Trees grow at their own pace, flowers bloom when the season is right, rivers flow to the ocean without needing to be pushed. There is no anxiety in nature, no desperate attempts to speed things up, and yet everything gets done. The sun rises, the seasons change, and life continues in perfect harmony. Contrast this with human behavior. We are always in a hurry. We rush to grow up, to succeed, to get ahead. We are impatient with ourselves, with others, with life itself. If we set a goal, we want to achieve it immediately. If we start learning a new skill, we get frustrated if we don't master it quickly. If we don't see immediate results, we feel like we are failing. But Lao Tzu reminds us that this is not the way of the Tao. The more we try to rush life, the more we create stress, disappointment, and unnecessary struggle. Nature shows us that true progress is made slowly, steadily, and effortlessly. A tree does not force itself to grow faster. It simply grows, little by little, day by day. If we applied the same patience to our own lives, we would find a deep sense of peace. We would understand that everything we are working toward, our dreams, our goals, our personal growth, will happen in time. There is no need to rush. Just like nature, if we stay present, take consistent action, and trust the process, we will reach exactly where we need to be. One of the greatest sources of stress in modern life is impatience. People feel like they are running out of time. They compare themselves to others and feel like they are behind. Social media makes this worse, constantly showing us other people's highlights, their achievements, their success, their seemingly perfect lives. This creates an illusion that everyone else is moving faster, that we need to catch up, that we need to push harder. But this kind of thinking only leads to stress and bad decisions. When we are impatient, we make choices out of desperation rather than wisdom. Think about someone who is impatient in their career. Instead of allowing themselves to grow naturally, they take shortcuts, cut corners, or chase quick money rather than long-term fulfillment. They might take a job they hate just because it seems like the fastest way to success. But in doing so, they sacrifice their happiness. Or consider someone who is impatient in relationships. Instead of waiting for the right person, they settle for anyone just to avoid being alone. Later, they realize they rushed into something that wasn't right for them. Impatience makes us force things that should not be forced. It creates unnecessary suffering because it disconnects us from the natural rhythm of life. When we rush, we ignore the wisdom of the present moment. We are so focused on getting to the future that we miss what is happening right now. But the truth is, the present moment is all we ever have. The future will come in its own time, just as a tree bears fruit when the season is right. If we can embrace this understanding, we can free ourselves from the stress of always trying to be somewhere else. In today's world, there is an obsession with speed. People want quick results, instant success, fast transformations. There is an entire industry built around this impatience. Get-rich-quick schemes, fast-track fitness programs, shortcuts to learning. But anything truly valuable in life takes time. There are no shortcuts to mastery, to wisdom, to true success. Think about the most skilled artists, musicians, and athletes. They did not become great overnight. They spent years, sometimes decades, refining their craft. They showed up every day, practicing, improving, failing, and trying again. If they had been obsessed with speed, they would have given up early. But because they trusted the process, they achieved excellence. Personal growth is the same. Many people want to change their habits, improve their mindset, or develop confidence as quickly as possible. They read self-improvement books, watch motivational videos, and expect immediate transformation. But growth does not work that way. It happens slowly, over time. You do not become wise from reading a single book. You do not become strong from going to the gym once. You do not develop inner peace from meditating a few times. True growth comes from consistency, patience, and persistence. The problem with rushing is that it often leads to shallow progress. People who chase quick results may achieve short-term success, but they rarely build something lasting. A tree that grows too fast without strong roots is easily blown over by the wind. A person who builds their life on speed rather than depth will struggle when challenges arise. The most successful people are those who understand the power of time. They do not rush. They trust. They know that if they put in the work, stay patient, and allow things to unfold naturally, they will get to where they want to be. Not by forcing, but by aligning with the natural flow of life. So how do we apply this wisdom in our own lives? The first step is to recognize that everything has its own timing. Just as a river does not rush to the ocean, we do not need to rush our journey. Trust that things will unfold as they should. If you are working toward a goal, focus on taking steady, consistent action rather than obsessing over when you will achieve it. One of the best ways to align with natural timing is to develop a sense of presence. When you focus too much on the future, you disconnect from the present. But the present is where everything happens. When you fully engage with what you are doing right now, whether it's learning, creating, working, or simply enjoying life, you naturally move toward your goals without feeling rushed. Another important principle is to stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone moves at their own pace. Some people succeed early in life, while others take longer to find their path. There is no right timeline. If you are constantly measuring yourself against others, you will always feel like you are behind. But if you trust your own journey, you will realize that you are exactly where you need to be. Finally, practice patience with yourself. Growth takes time, change takes time, healing takes time. If you are working on yourself, do not expect immediate transformation. Celebrate small progress. Trust that even when you cannot see the results yet, you are still moving forward. Just like a seed growing underground, progress is happening even if it is not yet visible. Patience is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in life. It allows you to enjoy the journey rather than constantly stressing about the destination. It gives you the ability to handle setbacks with grace. It helps you stay calm when things do not go according to plan. And most importantly, it allows you to align with the natural flow of life rather than fighting against it. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Even when things seem slow, even when progress feels invisible, trust that you are growing. Remember that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The same is true for you. If you can embrace this wisdom, you will free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. You will learn to enjoy the present moment rather than always chasing the next thing. You will develop the patience to let things unfold in their own time. And in doing so, you will accomplish everything you need, not by forcing, but by flowing. Lao Tzu describes the Tao as something beyond all categories, beyond all distinctions, beyond all attempts to define it. He says, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao." What does this mean? It means that the moment we try to define something, we limit it. The Tao is the natural flow of the universe, the force that gives rise to all things. Yet it cannot be put into words or confined to a single concept. It simply is. One of the greatest illusions that human beings create is the illusion of duality, this idea that things must always be one way or another. We divide everything into opposites, good versus bad, success versus failure, strong versus weak, right versus wrong. But Lao Tzu teaches that reality is not so rigid. It is fluid, always changing, always connected. Night and day are not truly opposites. They are part of the same cycle. Life and death are not separate. They are different stages of the same existence. Everything we see as separate is, in reality, part of a greater whole. This idea of duality does not just shape how we see the world, it shapes how we see ourselves. From the moment we are born, we are given labels. We are told who we are, what we should believe, what we should value. But these labels are not who we truly are. They are just mental constructs, created by society, by culture, by the expectations of others. The more we cling to these labels, the more we limit our true potential. The Tao teaches us to go beyond duality, beyond labels, beyond ego. To be like the Tao means to be fluid, to move with life rather than against it. It means letting go of rigid identities and allowing ourselves to grow, evolve, and change. It means understanding that we are not defined by any single idea, belief, or role. We are part of something much greater. One of the biggest obstacles to personal growth is attachment to identity. People spend their lives constructing a sense of self, shaping an image of who they are, what they stand for, what makes them different. While this can provide a sense of stability, it can also become a prison. When we become too attached to an identity, we stop growing, we stop questioning, we become afraid of change, because change threatens the story we tell ourselves about who we are. Think about someone who identifies strongly with their career. If they see themselves only as a doctor, a lawyer, an artist, or an athlete, what happens if they lose that career? They feel lost, as if their entire existence has been taken away. But the truth is, they were never just that label. They were always something more. The same applies to people who define themselves by a single belief system, a political ideology, or a social role. When people cling too tightly to these identities, they become rigid. They resist new perspectives, they reject growth, and they close themselves off to the complexity of life. Lao Tzu warns us against this trap. He reminds us that who we are is not fixed, it is ever-changing, just like nature itself. A river does not insist on staying in one place. It flows freely, adapting to whatever landscape it encounters. If we truly want to live in harmony with the Tao, we must be willing to let go of rigid identities and embrace change. The moment we say, "I am this and only this," we create walls around ourselves. But when we stop defining ourselves so narrowly, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We allow ourselves to grow beyond the limitations of labels and discover new parts of who we are. This is true freedom, not being confined by any one identity, but being open to all of life's experiences. One of the clearest examples of how labels divide us is in the realm of politics and ideology. In today's world, people are more divided than ever. They identify with political parties, religious groups, nationalities, or cultural movements, and they cling to these identities as if they were absolute truths. This leads to tribalism, an us versus them mentality, where people see those who think differently as enemies rather than fellow human beings. Look at how political debates unfold. Instead of people listening to each other with an open mind, they immediately take sides. Instead of discussing ideas, they defend their position as if their identity depended on it. The result? Stagnation, conflict, and an inability to evolve. People no longer seek truth, they seek to be right. They are so attached to their ideological labels that they stop seeing the humanity in others. Lao Tzu's teachings remind us that wisdom comes from seeing beyond these divisions. Truth is not owned by one side or another, it exists beyond human categories. The Tao does not take sides, and neither should we. If we want to truly understand the world, we must let go of rigid beliefs and approach life with curiosity rather than certainty. The strongest minds are not the ones who cling stubbornly to a single viewpoint, but those who are flexible, willing to question, and open to change. The more we let go of our need to be right, the more we can truly learn. The more we let go of ideological labels, the more we can connect with others on a human level. Imagine a world where people were not obsessed with proving their side was correct, but instead focused on understanding, listening, and learning. This is what it means to move beyond labels, to see life not as a battlefield of competing identities, but as a shared journey where everyone is constantly growing. Freedom is not just about external circumstances, it is about the way we think. Many people believe they are free, but in reality, they are trapped by their own minds. They are trapped by their beliefs, their assumptions, their fears of what others might think. They act not from their true selves, but from the expectations placed upon them by society. When we let go of labels, we free ourselves from these limitations. We stop living according to what others expect and start living according to our own inner truth. We stop trying to fit into a predefined category and start embracing our full, unlimited potential. Think about how liberating it is to admit that you don't have all the answers. To say, I don't know, but I am willing to learn. To step outside of your comfort zone and explore new perspectives. To let go of the need to be seen in a certain way and just be yourself. This is real freedom, not being defined by anything, but being open to everything. Lao Tzu teaches that the wisest people are those who do not cling to rigid identities. They are like the Tao, shapeless, adaptable, flowing. They are not bound by fear, not controlled by ego, not limited by labels. They move with life effortlessly, without resistance, without struggle, and in doing so, they experience true peace. So how can we apply this wisdom in our daily lives? Here are some practical ways to let go of labels and embrace a more fluid way of thinking. Question your own beliefs. Regularly ask yourself, why do I believe this? Be willing to challenge your own ideas and consider new perspectives. Avoid defining yourself too narrowly. Instead of saying, I am this type of person, stay open to change. Allow yourself to evolve. Engage with different viewpoints. Read books, listen to people, and explore ideas that challenge your way of thinking. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Practice letting go of ego. Recognize when you are clinging to an identity out of fear or pride. Learn to detach from the need to always be right. Embrace the unknown. Accept that life is fluid, unpredictable, and ever-changing. Trust that you do not need to have everything figured out. By practicing these principles, we align ourselves with the Tao, not rigid, not fixed, but flowing effortlessly with the rhythms of life. When we stop trying to fit into labels, we finally experience the vastness of who we truly are. This is the path to wisdom. This is the path to freedom. We've explored 10 powerful teachings from Lao Tzu, each offering a different way to see the world, approach challenges, and cultivate inner peace. Let's take a moment to reflect on these lessons and how they connect to the bigger picture of life. We began with Wu Wei, the art of effortless action. We learned that true success does not come from forcing things, but from aligning with the natural flow of life. By letting go of excessive effort, we can achieve more with less struggle. Then, we explored the power of softness and adaptability, understanding that just like water, flexibility is stronger than rigidity. By being open to change rather than resisting it, we can navigate life's obstacles with ease. Next, we turned inward with the lesson that knowing others is intelligence, but knowing yourself is true wisdom. We saw that self-awareness is the foundation for all personal growth, and that seeking validation from the outside world only leads to suffering. This led us to the idea that desire is the root of suffering, a reminder that constantly chasing more will never bring lasting happiness. Instead, true fulfillment comes from appreciating what we already have. From there, we examined the paradox of control, how the more we try to grasp, the more we lose. This lesson taught us that letting go of the need to control everything allows life to unfold more naturally. We also explored how simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, realizing that by removing unnecessary complexity, we create space for clarity, peace, and focus. Then, we embraced the wisdom that a good traveler has no fixed plans. This reminded us that overplanning leads to anxiety, and that trusting the journey, rather than obsessing over the destination, opens us up to unexpected opportunities. We also saw that true power lies in not needing power, as the strongest leaders are not those who dominate, but those who serve and uplift others. Finally, we learned that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished, a profound insight that taught us the value of patience and trusting the natural timing of things. And in our last chapter, we explored how being like the Tao means going beyond labels and ego, freeing ourselves from the constraints of identity, and embracing the fluidity of life. The Tao is not something to be mastered, but something to be lived. These teachings are not just abstract ideas, they are practical tools for transforming the way we experience life. But it's important to remember that the Tao is not something to be mastered. It's not a rigid philosophy with strict rules. It's not a checklist of things to achieve. Instead, it is something to be lived. The Tao is the way things are, the flow of existence, the underlying rhythm of life itself. Our task is not to control it, but to align ourselves with it. This journey is not about perfection. You don't need to apply all of these teachings overnight. You don't need to force yourself to change everything at once. The Taoist approach is gentle. It is about gradual shifts, about small changes in perspective that eventually lead to profound transformation. Start with what resonates most with you. Maybe that means practicing patience, learning to let go of control, or simplifying your life. Maybe it means becoming more self-aware or embracing uncertainty instead of fearing it. Wherever you begin, trust that even small steps will guide you toward a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. One of the most freeing aspects of Taoism is that it does not demand struggle. It does not tell you to fight against yourself or the world. It simply invites you to flow, to observe nature and learn from it, to trust that life is not something to be conquered, but something to be experienced. The river does not resist its course. It simply moves forward, adjusting as needed. The tree does not force itself to grow. It simply reaches for the sun, day by day. The Tao reminds us that we too are part of this natural order. And when we stop resisting, when we stop forcing, when we stop trying to impose our will upon life, we find that life takes care of itself. So, as we come to the end of this video, I invite you to reflect on your own journey. Are there areas in your life where you are forcing instead of flowing? Are you holding on to control when you could be letting go? Are you caught in the cycle of desire, always chasing more, instead of appreciating what is already here? There is no rush, no deadline, no perfect way to apply these lessons. The beauty of the Tao is that it is always here, always accessible, always available to those who seek it. The more you align with it, the more effortless life becomes. Not because challenges disappear, but because your way of moving through them changes. If these teachings resonated with you, I encourage you to experiment with them in your daily life. Observe how nature operates. Pay attention to the moments where simplicity brings more clarity than complexity. Notice when letting go feels more powerful than holding on. And most importantly, trust that wherever you are right now, you are exactly where you need to be.